We are live-ish. Hello, interwebs. What's going on? How everybody out there? Sorry, I'm running a couple minutes late. I had it all set up, but was had a conversation with the wife and had to finish that up before I could get my. And then I realized that my earphones weren't set up and stuff like that. So it took me a couple minutes, but we're good. We're live. It's me and Ape. It's the Me and Ape show. I got a text from Moo. He said he was upstate with his old man. He's upstate with his dad, so he probably wouldn't be able to join us. G23, I saw you were in here, and I wasn't wasn't able to let you in. So if you still want to jump in, come on back in. I'll let you in, or anybody else out there, as a matter of fact, or if I missed anybody. I know I saw on the Instagrams that Jorge George is at a pizza party for like a birthday party for a family member. So he's not here now. He maybe he'll join us later on. I don't know. We'll see. So what we'll do is we'll start with the inside the business stuff here. And tonight it is we talked about it last week. We threw a poll up there, and tips for ordering was the topic. So I kind of thought about it a little bit, and it'd be really awesome if we had some participation out in the chat. I know it's just me and Ape in here, but I wrote down some things. When if somebody would ask me, like, what are some tips for me to ordering while ordering in a restaurant? Things that I might think of. So if anybody else has anything out there, let me know. And then we will throw a poll up. If anybody has any suggestions on something they would like to talk about or that we should talk about next week, throw them out there. Tag me and throw them out there, and I'll throw a poll together, and we can vote on that. So it could be things like what I have here. I had, costs, pricing, prep, service, steps of service, or what kind of service you could expect. I know that was one last week that we had up there. What types of service to expect from different restaurants. How to be a good customer was one. And what did we do last week? I forget what we even did last week.
There wasn't a last week.
Or the week.
Little man had first day of school.
Yeah, I know. He did, and he's doing great. He loved it. He had a great week. We had a weird week. He went Monday and Tuesday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I forget what it was now. I don't remember. And then we got some really bad weather, and actually canceled a day, and then started 2 hours late the next day. So, it was kind of a weird week, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to have a little short week, the first week, getting acclimated to everything, get them in there and all that kind of stuff. So Defense Dad says, what kind of gun guy are you? No hat? Yeah, I know. I had a hat on. I took it off. So if anybody out there has anything that they would like to talk about with the restaurant industry that we can get into, I'll write it down, and we'll throw a little poll together. So, Ape, what's going on, buddy? We missed you. Work finally giving you a little time off?
Well, it's Labor Day, so they have to give weekend shift Sunday off. So,
right.
Yep, I have been incredibly busy. So, yeah, I had just the last weekend was the first time off I had in all of August. So,
whoa.
Yep. Oh well. Pays the bills, covers the cost of me buying shit I really don't need to, but really want to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, Moo is out there. He says, I hope your goddamn head was in it. Daddy, my hat flew off. G23, what's going on, buddy? Sorry I missed you earlier.
Not much. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. What's going on with you?
Got the fake Rona.
You got the fake Rona? Is
Yep.
that what you said? What's the fake Rona?
So I tested negative twice,
Mm-hmm.
And so then they called it a presumptive positive and quarantined me for 10 days.
Presumptive positive. Okay. Well, just because you had signs or symptoms or whatever. Oop. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, okay. So how do they have you presumptive positive? What does that mean?
So they say that you have to quarantine for 10 days because you're possibly a positive.
So a definite possibility of a maybe. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's an odd one. Honey Moo Boo. I actually saw a thing the other day that popped up on Instagram. She's dating some 20-year-old guy. She's a mess. She was born to be a mess. born to be a mess.
So
I'm
you're looking for
presumptive had too much beer tonight and I'm sleepy. Defense dad is sleepy. He's ready for sleepy time.
Are you saying?
So were you looking for show ideas on restaurants?
Yeah. We're I have the category for tonight, and then we'll throw a poll up. So yeah, if you have a suggestion, let me know. I'll put it in the choices.
So is it appropriate to leave a penny tip heads down?
So are you saying like the old FU tip? Like, no, I didn't forget the tip. I just don't think you deserve anything, that kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Penny tips, okay. Yeah, we can put that on there. So if anybody else has anything, we'll add it to the list. We'll throw a poll up here as soon as we decide which 4 we're going to do. So tonight's was tips for ordering. So, and I thought that would be kind of interesting because people make a couple of assumptions about ordering, and I don't generally make those kind of assumptions. One of the things is, don't eat seafood on certain days, or don't come at certain times, times of the day. I don't really hold fast to anything like that. I think there's a lot of people that they've maybe had a bad experience, or they've heard of somebody that had a bad experience, or they've heard that you shouldn't do this or shouldn't do that. And I don't know. So I'll go through my stuff here, and please, guys, just jump right in if there's anything that you want to add to it, or if you had a question, or you think that doesn't, or what you're saying, if I'm saying something that you don't agree with, same thing out in the chat. Make sure you tag me with stuff. So when I think about, ordering, or I'm sorry, yeah, tips for ordering is you're going to eat at a restaurant 20 minutes before they close. Come on, man. I think, yes, it is okay to eat at a restaurant if they're close to closing. I think that a good restaurant wants to take care of people. And does it suck? Yes, it does. So I know that's a little contradictory, but yeah, I think it's okay. But I think the way that you conduct yourself as a customer is really important when you do that. If I eat close to close, you say please, you say a lot of thank yous, you leave a nice tip. You let people know, like, hey, I know you're almost closed, so what's easy. I think if you go in, you go into a place and you say, "Hey, I know you're getting ready to close. What's easy for you guys to do? You throw a salad together, or something like that." G says at good restaurants, sure, but most restaurants, no way. I think your demeanor and your actions and how you order can get you through most restaurants. I do believe that. I think if you're if they see you understand the situation and you're willing to compromise. Compromise. I said the C word. I think you're good to go. I think you're okay. I don't necessarily think calling it 10 minutes before they close and being like, I'm on my way. That's not cool. Showing up, at closing, like when they're getting ready to lock the doors. Nah, come on, man. If they even open the doors, be like, hey, you guys are closed. Is there anywhere else that's open? So, I think there's a good way and a bad way to look at it. My first thing, it kind of goes with that. Salad at closing, no way. That's just asking for cross-contamination. The first thing I thought of was, tips for ordering is to be polite. And that's what we're talking about is, servers will feed off of your demeanor, right? So a server, if you're gruff and grumpy and cranky, and they will then in turn play off of that. And if you're the kind of if you're in a bad mood and you're cranky to them or disrespectful to them, or you treat them like a less of a person, a server definitely won't go the extra 9 yards, the extra 9 yards for you or whatever. So I think that's the first thing. Don't be afraid to research before you go, right? And I have a huge caveat with that, but research before you go. If I want Wellington 20 minutes before closing, so be it. So research before you go. Do some research. Look at the menu. If you've never been to a place, it's nice. Look at the menu a little bit, see what they have, see what you're in for. That's always smart, but be very leery of the wannabe food critics. We talk about that a lot, where all of a sudden everybody's a food critic, and you really have to understand, and maybe this is being in the industry a little bit, I read people's reviews, and you can kind of read between the lines a little bit and be like, oh boy, they were really having a rough day that day. Or, they're taking out an employee's mistake, possibly, or accident, and they're really just wrecking the whole joint. They're talking, my old boss was, one of the things he always said was, if you allow one mistake, or if you allow one substandard thing to happen, they will find a second and a third and a fourth. So, as a restaurant employee, don't let that one thing happen, and they won't be able to dogpile you. Another thing that I have, and this is a little bit weird maybe, or some people might not think of this, when you walk in and you're being sat, look around, look at what other people are eating. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Not like, Blues Brothers or whatever, but like, oh, I'll have what he's having. But, you can see the type of food that's out there. Question, better for the wait person to treat all customers the same, or treat each customer as they would want to be treated? I think a good server, and we talked about this, and I actually gave an example the other week of a server that I loved working with. He was a great guy. He was really good at reading his tables and serving the table as he thought that they would want to be served. Some people want to be served very prim and proper, and some people want to have a, hey guys, how you doing kind of attitude. And he was really good at that. And people requested him more than I've ever had a server be requested. All the years I'm doing this, he was one that was requested the most. And it was just because people would come in and they would want a server to be like casual, and he could do that. And then there was other people that would come in and they were their own business, and they wanted somebody that would serve them, very, more upscale, and he could do that too. And that was really awesome. And somebody like that is very valuable to the business. Don't rush. Read the whole menu. Take your time. I say don't rush, but also don't be rushed. If you feel like a server is rushing you, don't worry about that. Just take your time, do what you got to do. There are certain times that there will be time constraints put on people. You have 2.5 hours to eat, like New Year's Eve or something like that. Sometimes they actually do put like a 2.5 hour time limit on the table. Then maybe hustle up a little bit, but take your time, read through the menu, make sure you understand, if there's anything on there that you have any questions about, if there's any terms on there that you don't dare ask, don't be afraid to ask. One of my favorite things to do is I like to ask the servers what they like to eat. And not necessarily ask what's good or what's popular or what's fresh tonight or whatever. I like to ask what they eat. What do you think is really good? And I feel like it gives them the opportunity to be honest and to not sell you on something, to not sell you what they're supposed to sell or what needs to be sold that night. But I think it does kind of give them a little bit of a chance to be just who they are and be honest. And that can be really, really, really good. And sometimes they'll sell you something that's awesome, just because it's, we've had some things, I've had some things on the restaurant over the years that a server will say, oh, this is really good, but when I get it, I do this to it. I add a little bit of spice to it, or I add a little bit of this to it, and it's awesome. And they'll order it like that, and that's okay with me. Some places don't like special requests, and it drives them crazy. For the most part, as long as it's nothing too nuts, I'm okay. Again, like I said, what do you sell the most of? What's the most popular? Not what's the best tonight or what should I get, but what do you sell the most of? And that's two reasons. If it's something that they sell the most, if they sell the most of it, one, they should be good to make. They should be good to make it. They should be trained, practiced. They should be able to make it standing in their head, that kind of thing. But also, it's probably going to be the freshest or one of the freshest things on the menu because they're going through it a lot, and that's really important. One of the things that I had down was or talked about was like seafood. What days to order seafood, and don't order seafood on this day or don't order seafood on that day. If you say what's the most popular thing and they say it's a seafood, go for that because they're probably running through a lot of it. One of the things with seafood was people say, some people say, order seafood on Monday because it's the first day of the week. But, if they ordered seafood Saturday or got it in Friday or Saturday and then they're closed on Sunday, they're going to try and move that on Monday if they're closed on Sunday. So I don't particularly think there is a best day for every restaurant. Every restaurant's going to be different for certain days. My next thing is, it's tips that I had for tips for ordering is describe what you want. If you need to. So describe what you want if you need to describe what you want. And a good example of this was, people ordering steaks and they'll order a steak medium rare. They get it medium rare and they send it back and they say, can you cook it more? Or medium or well, or whatever, however they do it. And same thing with other stuff. Veal takes temps, even pork, you can do under temp. So, describe what you want. Do you want it? Can I get it medium or, just a little bit of pink? That might might be medium, might be a little more towards mid-well. People will order, I want medium rare, but I don't want it to be bloody. Depending on how long that steak's rested, it might what's going to be coming out of it when you cut it, somebody might perceive it as being bloody. So maybe you're more of a medium person, you just don't know it. You don't know what medium is. Steak temps by color, type of the way you like things seasoned, describe it. Tell the server about it. Let them know, like, if there's any allergies or dietary restrictions. I've had people that have wanted things highly seasoned and, people that want it not seasoned at all. And that's fine. You just gotta, the best way to do it is to just describe what you like. I've broadened your horizons. Try the specials if the special sounds interesting. And I know a lot of people see specials as they're just doing it as a special to try and get rid of something, which could be true. Poll idea: do you ever send things back to the kitchen? Yeah, we can do that. But specials can be, even though they are a technique to use product up, a lot of times they're of good value and they're fun. And a lot of times they're some dishes where they might be trying some fun stuff out. G says weekly specials versus daily special, or weekly specials are better than daily specials. I don't always see that. Okay. In what way, I guess, is how I say weekly specials are better than daily specials. In what way? Weekly specials are not always fresher than daily specials, for sure. Because if they know on Monday they're going to be running this special all week, they're going to try and bulk it, make larger amounts and bulk it, and you might find that sauce is made on Monday and they're still trying to run through it on Friday or Saturday, which is fine as long as it's been held. It's been held properly and cooked properly and reheated properly and all that kind of stuff. But that's not always going to be the freshest way to go.
So you're putting out there like running a Fish Fry Friday. That's more something to where you have to know your local area. Are there a lot of Catholics in your area?
Right.
Because that's what it is. They're not going to, we got this in on Monday, or, okay, yeah, they might get their frozen fish in on Monday or whatever and fry it up if it's the stuff like they do around here. But, yeah, not like for this week only. No, a whole baked cod and a whole fried chicken for $3.99 kind of a deal. It's Friday is fish day. Wednesday might be fish as well. Every other night it's burgers or your evergreen material. So fish for Friday. I see what you're saying. Like, okay, I see what he's saying. Like one day is prime rib day, and the next day is a fish fry or something like that. Yeah, I mean that can definitely be a great way to, if a place does that, then you can. That's probably a good way to assume that fish is going to be pretty fresh on that day. I will say, they're going to get stuck with stuff though. Like if you do a fried fish you get it in fresh, unfrozen, and you don't use it, you're probably not going to use it again on Saturday. They'll probably freeze it and then do it the next week. So, cod and chicken for 99 cents. One of the other things with the specials is keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. Try not to, I've heard that like 80% or high 80% of people, when they walk into a restaurant, they have it in their head, if they know it's on the menu, what they're going to get.
And even more so if it's something that most restaurants have, like a salmon dish or something. They'll walk in and they're going to get the salmon dish, and they'll get the salmon dish just about any way they can, any way it's done. It's just like, I'll have the salmon, and they get it and they're like, oh, okay, it's salmon done this way. But keep an open mind, because, try not to have those preconceived orders, and try to look over everything, because you might surprise yourself. Order what you can't get at home is another one that I try and do myself, is and I say order what I can't make at home, or what I don't make at the restaurant, myself, or something similar to it, which is, if I don't have lamb on the menu, I really enjoy lamb. I'll order lamb. If I don't have duck on the menu, I really love duck. If I don't have duck on the menu, I'll probably lean towards duck, rather than having something that, I have around me all the time. Do you go to a restaurant because you want a meal versus decide the meal once you get to the restaurant? And that's kind of what we're talking about. G says he usually goes to a restaurant because they have something that he wants. He hardly ever goes to a place, then decides what to eat. Where I can totally see it. I think probably most people are like that. And that's kind of what I'm saying, is maybe go a place, step outside the comfort zone a little bit, go to a place and then find something that you don't normally have. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say with that, it's kind of, I was going to put that, like, oh, hey, a new restaurant or bar and grill or whatever opened up in blah, blah, blah. And you don't really know what to do. I don't know. Look on the menu and see if they have like I don't know why I keep using this word, but like an evergreen item to where, okay, it's like a burger or a sandwich of a certain way. Something that, that even if this is kind of bad, I'll not be horribly pissed about it, kind of thing. Or to kind of use that as your metric of, okay, well, they do their Reuben a little bit differently. Their bread is a little crispier, or they don't like actually separate the sliced corned beef or whatever. They just throw it in bulk on the flat top or something like that.
Or they like pull it. Some places do like a pulled corned beef, yeah.
And some places make their own dressing or their own sauerkraut or other stuff. Just kind of, do that. Or then maybe the next time, if it goes well for you, look on it and say, well, they didn't manage to screw this up. So, well, I kind of like this, and this about this one dish. So I'll give that a try, kind of a deal. So
I don't know. I'm probably one of the most pickiest people, and so I'll give new restaurants a try. Or if we're on vacation, you go to a local restaurant and see. But if I don't see something I know on the menu, and I may not be able to get it at home or whatever, but if I don't see something I completely know, I'm just gonna walk out the restaurant. Done.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I can see how people do that. And I've had that happen to me before, where people look at the menu and they say, nah, it's not for us. And that's your prerogative. It's just how it is. Some people aren't like that. They're, not adventurous, or they're, maybe not adventurous is not the good word, but, you know what I mean? And G says, if they ruin a gold standard meal to compare restaurants, the BLT, if they ruin a BLT, then don't go back. Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's certain things that, there's certain things that are not, it's like a burger. I think a BLT and a burger is a good example too. Or pizza is a good example too, because I can always joke about hey man, even when pizza's bad, it's still pretty good. Like if you get a pizza and it sucks, like something's going on because a burger the same way. Like I feel like a burger is so simple, even if it's just a patty with lettuce, tomato, and cheese. Like if there's some jacked up stuff going on there, like man, they're screwing up this burger. Not that it's overcooked or undercooked, because that shit happens, but just obviously don't give a shit. Like, or the quality of the product is really bad. So one of the other things that I think a lot of people probably wouldn't think about is to tell your server or to let your server know what kind of pace you're expecting to have through your meal. A lot of people wouldn't do that. And certain restaurants just want to pump the food out, and you're halfway through your appetizer, their entrees are fucking hitting the table whether you want them or not. And that drives me nuts. I hate that. I don't like that. Gee, and that goes with G's talking about, if they put lettuce or pickle, they're pissed off. That goes back to like, describe what you want and describe it well, and don't worry about making, sounding like you don't know what you're talking about. But pace, let them know what your pace is. If you're in a hurry, let them know. And there's times where we go out and I'll be like, maybe the wife will get an appetizer or 2 appetizers. Sometimes she'll get 2 apps instead of a meal, and I'll get a sandwich or whatever the heck it is. Just be like, just bring it all out. And a lot of people do that. They just be like, just bring it out as it's ready, and we're gonna, we'll kill it, and we're gonna get moving. But other times it's like you want it strung out a little bit. It's like, no, just bring the apps. We're taking our time. And like Applebee's or somewhere like that. If you swing into Applebee's, you're out running around. Like me and the little guy went to Applebee's like a week or 2 ago because we were out running around, and he just, he wanted chicken tenders, and I got a sandwich. And it was over by where we were shopping. And, we got a kid, so we take him into kid places. And I noticed the people beside us that happened to them. They were halfway through apps, and they were out slamming down more food in front of them. I'm like, that's kind of shitty, I don't like that, for instance. That drives me nuts. And one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting to bring up that is that I think people think is a good thing to ask, that I personally don't. I don't think it gives you very much information at all. Is people will ask, now it's a little bit different maybe if you're at the, near the water, if you're near the shore, near the beach, whatever. If you're just off the Chesapeake, it might be a little bit different. But, if you're mainland, we're in the middle of PA here. If you're in Ohio or somewhere like that, so people will ask like, oh, where do you get your meat, or where do you get your seafood from? And I'll be 100% honest, unless you're close to something, I don't think it really matters that much. I don't worry unless it's a specific thing, like a specialty thing, like if it's a American Wagyu, or if it's, if it's soft shell crabs or something, or in season or something like that, and you can get them. And this is a bad example now because shipping is so screwed up right now all across the United States and the world. It's a little bit different, but normally, even companies like Cisco, U.S. Foods, they, we use there's a company, John Gross, near us. They have really good seafood programs. There's a really large seafood purveyor out of Philly called Samuels and Sons, and they go out of Philly. They're close. They go down to the Baltimore and stuff every morning, and they'll bring back to the factory, and they break down a bunch of stuff. They will actually sell wholesale to a lot of the other companies. And then those companies in turn will then, sell them. So even though you're getting something from Cisco or John Gross, it might actually be from a seafood company like Samuel's, who does an amazing job. So I don't worry so much where stuff comes from. I worry more when it came from there, I guess. And beef is the same way. There's beef and pork and meats. Unless you're getting it local, it's getting shipped anyway. And it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's just not a very good judge of whether a cut is going to be really good or not. Knowing that it came from this person, or this person, unless I know specifically that is a specialty beef or something like that. But if it's coming from IBP, it's coming from IBP. It's a Packer, what's called a Packer brand, and that's just a generic brand, a generic label, IBP or somewhere like that. And that just doesn't tell people very much, I don't think. I think people, if they put any kind of weight into that, I think they're wasting their time. Guns and Barbecue, what's going on, buddy?
Sorry, having trouble finding the mute button. That's not cool. Much. Sorry, I'm late.
No, that's cool, man. Got anything to throw in there?
So honestly, anything that you just said, I just end up echoing. I feel the same. People worry about some of that little stuff a little too much. Unless you're getting something like a Wagyu or some crap like that. I've been to steakhouses where they're like, oh yeah, we get all of our meat local raised. Well, that's cool, but if they don't know how to cook it, they don't know how to cook it.
Right. I think
I've been to places where I go to get a steak and they're like, oh, this is all local. And I'm like, all right, cool. I don't know why I care if it's local or not, because if that's supposed to be some sort of thing that's supposed to make, it's nice that they're supporting local farms, but for me, that's the best part about it, is they're just supporting a local farm.
Right.
But, it doesn't tell me if that beef was given any antibiotics or if it's organic, which I don't care either way. I know other people do. For some, I think people get hung up on that and think, oh, since it's local, it wasn't never done this or that. No.
Right.
And like I said, I've gone to places where they're like, it's local, so it's going to be great. And I'm like, this, was not a good steak. And then I've gone to places where, they're getting it from big places and, who knows where it's being shipped from. And it's the best steak I ever had.
Mm-hmm. And I'll give, you're talking about organic, I'll give an example that really kind of, that I found. One of our purveyors a few years ago was doing a local Wagyu, and they try to work within the organic parameters as much as they can, but you're not allowed with organic to be called organic unless you're certified, and they didn't go through the certification. But he also, one of the things is, he said, if I have an animal that it's sick, it, cuts, has some sort of infection or something, they get wounds, and just like anything else, he said, I want to be able to treat that animal, and, I can't give it certain medicines if I want to keep it organic. So that was one of his reasons. And one of his bigger reasons was, I just want to treat it like the best way that, we would treat an animal, and not worry about whether that's going to hurt our status as an organic purveyor or not. So, he's like, if I get a sick animal, I want to give him an antibiotic and get him better and move on, and not have that screw up that animal's branding as organic or not organic. Do you fugu or wagyu? I've never had fugu. Wagyu I have. TPC says farm to table is a big seller these days. Yeah, people like it. And it's just like anything else. People, whether the quality is better or not, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But just like Barbecue said, it's about, giving the business to your local guys, your local people. Yeah, fugu is pufferfish. Pufferfish. I've never had pufferfish. I suppose I would try it if I was, but I never have.
I'd only try it if I was in Japan.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I forget. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've researched it or, talked about it or anything. I don't remember how much of the animal is edible and how much isn't. I don't remember.
I think it's just a small strip of it. I remember watching this big thing about it. Well, it was about different Japanese dishes, and then they talked about the puffer fish and the certifications that the chefs over there have to get to be able to prepare that. I mean,
I think it's like 7 years or something.
Yeah.
It's some crazy amount.
Yeah, that's why I said the only way I'd even remotely try it is if I was in Japan, and and even then you have to make sure that you actually get a reputable restaurant when you go over there that's doing it right, because if they do it wrong, it'll kill you.
Mm-hmm.
However, I have heard rumors that the yield is getting slightly bigger since they figured out how to feed them non-toxic coral.
Yeah, I think
less toxic coral.
I think it depends. Yeah, I think it has something to do with their liver. I think it has something to do with the way their liver, like how close the meat is to the liver too. I think I don't remember if different parts of the animal are more or less toxic. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember, but I do. Yeah, it does have something to do with what they eat, how their body processes it. Salty crackers. Yeah, I have a hard time with that guy sometimes. Not so much his message, but his delivery can be a little much. Did Guns and Barbecue just say he's pro mandatory training for sushi cooks? I think he did.
Only for puffer fish chefs.
Yeah,
I mean that's a reasonable restriction. Like you want people who mix dynamite to know that, hey, it's 3 parts of the blue stuff, 1 part of the red stuff, not 3 parts of the red stuff and 2 parts of the blue stuff.
And I'm not even sure I'd say a mandatory training on that. If they want to loosen the restrictions on that, cool. But I'm still going to make sure that I go to the guy that was trained for 7 years on how to cook it, because I don't feel like dying from pufferfish.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's Japan. If they choose to specialize in something, they go to the nth degree to specialize in it.
Yeah, well,
it
is pretty nuts. Like you go to a sushi restaurant over there, and the dude that's making, the guy that's, you're not allowed to move up from making rice for like 3 years or some crazy shit. Like, at the really high end places, you make rice for forever. And then you can actually move up to making sushi. You're not even allowed to make sushi until you get the rice right. For so long, it's kind of crazy. George is out there. What's going on, George? Well, yeah, it's funny. I mean, I always did when I did my sushi rice. I did it. I didn't do it 100% traditional. When a lot of times. I can't remember exactly the ratio. I always had my ratio. I always made mine a little bit more sweet and sour than traditional. And I used rice vinegar, sugar, and a little sweet rice wine. And then I when the rice was done, let it rest for a second and then fluff that into it. When they do it, they just use sugar and rice vinegar, I believe, but it's supposed to be fluffed in a wooden bowl with a wooden spoon, like a wooden spatula, for so long, and then they hold it, and then they use it within a certain amount of time, or they pitch it. So, go ahead.
Is better, sushi or sashimi?
I generally don't eat sashimi. I'm a big fan of maki, and that's what people think of as sushi. A lot of times is what I generally like, and it's a maki roll. It's the nori, the paper with the rice, and then whatever the filling in is, and it's rolled up and into like a pinwheel and then sliced. That's maki. There's also sashimi, which is just raw fish. And then nigiri is like a rice ball with some sort of something on top. That's nigiri. And I can't remember. I'm trying to think of the term now, that the ones that are like the little ice cream cones almost, it's the nigiri, the nori, or the sushi, the paper, seaweed paper. They call it seaweed paper, but it's really algae. They do algae, but it's the little cones, and then the stuff is, and then the rice and the sushi, the rice and the fish is put inside. I can't remember the term for that now, and I was escaping me. Tupperware, you need a link. Yeah, I can give you a link.
So wouldn't using yellowfin or bluefin tuna be better than using mahi?
Well, did you say ahi or mahi?
Mahi.
Yeah, I've used mahi, and mahi is fine. Bluefin is the most prized. Yellowfin's under that. And then when you get into the hold on a second. Once you get into each fish, there's different parts of the fish that are more prized than others. And honestly, I'm not as big a fan of the parts that are supposed to be the better ones. When you start getting into the toro, which is usually along the belly, and it's more marbled. It's actually got a lot of fat content to it, and it's that stuff that almost looks kind of pink, and it looks like it's got the whites, marbling to it, basically. I'm not as huge a fan of that as I am the eye, where it's it's leaner. It's just me. It's just how I am. Tamaki sushi. I don't know if that's tamaki. Tamaki. I don't know. We could look it up. I could Google it, types of sushi, and look. But I have used mahi. There's certain stuff. There's certain fish that you can't use or you shouldn't use. And like swordfish, because you can carry parasites. Swordfish should be cooked. But a lot of other fish are frozen for a certain amount of time before, because of parasites and stuff too. So DJ Play Nice says, isn't nigiri the OG of sushi? I'm not sure. I learned to make sushi on my own, basically by myself. But I didn't do a ton in looking into the history of it, and going back and looking at all the different types. Mahi free zone, bluefin, please. Yeah, blue tuna is nice. Blue is so expensive. I always used yellowfin. I always stuck with yellowfin.
So now, what do you think is like the most common sushi?
Mm, tuna and salmon probably still are, but I don't know. I'll be. Um, Foss says my wife is Japanese. There you go. I don't know.
So
I'll tell you the truth. I don't know what, because I've never worked in a sushi restaurant. I know for us, I would do a lot of variants on like spicy tuna rolls and salmon Philly rolls and stuff like that. I kept it really simple.
I was
I
going more like
didn't. Go
I was
ahead.
going more after like the California roll or stuff like that, where that's probably more what a lot of people are probably commonly like know. But yeah, you've
Yeah.
got like so many different kinds of varieties out there.
hmm Well, I think when you look at two, and it's how I did it. And California roll is like the gateway sushi, right? It's all cooked stuff. It could be like crab, crab, avocado, cucumber, whatever else you put in your California roll. That's what I started out with because I wanted to try sushi and I wanted to get sushi and I got it and I liked it. And then moved on to some different stuff, spicy tuna, generic stuff, easy stuff that I knew I would like. And then as I got a little more confident, I would order one roll that I knew I'd like, and then I'd order another one like unagi. I'd order, the eel, the barbecued eel, which I really like barbecued eel rolls. They're a big fan. I'm a big fan of that. I started off with cooked rolls, or was like cooked shrimp rolls, or spider rolls. Places around here call a fried soft shell crab roll, a spider roll. I don't know if that's other places do, but and then I have had probably the weirdest one I've ever had was uni, and that's sea urchin. I had sea urchin in Philadelphia at a place called Pod, and the flavor was really, really cool. Personally, I thought there was, and this is kind of a weird gripe because most people would think it's awesome, but I thought there was a little too much in there because I wasn't a fan of the texture. But it literally tasted like butter. It was very buttery, and I really enjoyed it. And I actually took some of it out, and I really enjoyed it with a little bit less of it in there. But yeah, so most people do that. If people, a lot of people think that sushi has to have raw fish, and it doesn't. It's it's the rice. The rice makes it. So, you start off with the rice, and top it with if you like the idea of like a nigiri, top it with a cooked shrimp, or something, or do a cooked shrimp roll or a cooked crab roll, or use the sticks, the surimi. Surimi is what they call it, fake crab, and it really is just white fish. It's really just like pollock or something like that. And they cook it, and they grind it and cook it, grind it, and they basically make like hot dogs out of it almost. And they put a little bit of red dye in it on the one side to make it look like a crab leg, kind of fake it. One of the things that I don't like is when places use that in their spicy tuna rolls. I hate that. If you get a spicy tuna roll and it's not 100% tuna, I think that's bullshit. But some places will take like half tuna and half chopped up or ground up surimi, and that sucks. Worst Japanese texture, natto. Yes, natto is some scary shit. A lot of people like miso. Miso's, some people think it's pretty wicked, but depending on what miso you get, some it's red, like red misos can be kind of wicked. But when you get down into the shiro miso or the white miso, it's usually very mild, and makes really great sauces and soups. Natto is kind of like unprocessed miso in a way. It's It's like the fermented soybeans. Oh boy, let me try that again. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I have a hard time with sending you emails. So natto can be pretty scary stuff. It's kind of like fish sauce. Like, some people love fish sauce, but the way it's made is pretty creepy, pretty scary. So natto is like if you would take soybeans and let them get all like brownish grayish tan, and then mix them with like slime. That's that's kind of what natto's like. The snotty strings, yeah, it's a textural thing for sure. Yeah, it's pretty. It's super sticky, god awful. Yeah, it's pretty gross. But it's supposed to taste more like crab when warm as surimi. Yeah, I get it. I understand it, and I like it more in like a California roll, like I said, because it's a gateway sushi, right? Cooked seafood, avocado, cucumber, whatever the hell else you're going to put in there, some other veggies, and you dip it in some soy, and it's good, and it's not too scary because it's all cooked. But in anything other than that, I like it in addition to other stuff. I'm not afraid of that. Like if you do a tuna or a salmon roll and you decide to put a surimi stick in there too, fine. I just don't like it being used as to bump up like tuna or anything else like that. I think it's shitty, and it just doesn't taste. It's so bland, Fermented foods are hard for some people. With me, it's more texture. Yeah. And that's the thing with fish sauce too. When you start getting into fish sauces, some of them are super wicked and just super like strong and bitter, and that's pretty gross fermentation of stuff too.
So Midnight, bluefin versus yellowfin tuna. What makes the bluefin so much more better? Justify the price.
Darker in the fat content,
Okay.
and they're rarer now, so I mean they're gonna be, as far as I know,
the rarity of it, makes a difference. But I wasn't sure if there's a drastic flavor difference or anything that makes it worth actually wanting the bluefin over the yellow still.
Yeah, and I'm not, and that's me being. I mean, everybody has their own tastes and flavors. I like yellowfin, so I like that light flavor and light color. Not so much color, but the lighter flavor, and that's why I don't love the toro. I don't love the fatty part of it either. Because it's not my favorite kind of thing. So, I'm probably not the most cultured sushi eater. I'm still Central PA sushi guy. So
yeah,
I like what I like. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
My tuna
just like
Bumblebee.
Yeah. And like I said, and the best example is, like I said, the best example for that is the uni, where I really liked it, but not in a large amount. Whereas, like I think Moo out there said that he loves uni. Would the roll that I had had a ton of it in there, he would have thought it was awesome if he really likes uni. I also do some weird stuff that you're not supposed to do. Like I really enjoy putting the pickled ginger in the roll. Pickled ginger, it's called pickled ginger gari, Gari. Gari is pickled ginger. It's supposed to be used as like a palate cleanser. I really enjoy the flavor of it, and I'll actually take pieces of it and lay it across the sushi and eat it. And that's that's a no-no for sure. Like somebody that would, if you go somewhere that was really proud of their sushi and you did that, they'd probably think you were a fucking asshole. But I think it's good on some sushi. I like that sweet and sour, that bite that it has. I think it's pretty good. I actually I used to do a salmon Philly roll, where it was sliced salmon, cream cheese, and cucumber. And then sometimes I put like red peppers or other stuff in there. But I'd also chop up pickled ginger and sprinkle that inside and then roll it. And you get this like sweet and sour kind of flavor. And it's really, I really enjoyed it. And people really liked it. But it's something you're not really supposed to do, quote unquote. Diver scallops, raw or cooked. Scallops are nice. Real scallops, real dry packed scallops. And that's a conversation that I've had that's an argument that I've had with seafood purveyors, and I've had some disappointment about, learned about what they can do to scallops and still call them a dry scallop or a non-chemical scallop. They can still do it a little bit and still, and still pass it off. And that's bullshit. Pickled daikon is good in a roll. Pickled daikon tastes good. Pickled daikon smells horrible, though. Pickled daikon, if there's a lot of it on a plate and you don't know what it is, be like, what the hell smells so bad? Who farted on my plate? And Foss says, I don't eat the gari or the wasabi. I generally don't. If I like spice, if I want spice on sushi, I'll generally order. He said daikon will stink up your fridge. Yeah, it gets pretty bad. We actually, well, I'll say it then. The wasabi, I don't eat a ton of wasabi. If I want some spice, it'll usually be like a chili based mayo, like a sriracha mayo or something like that. Because I really do like mayo on a lot of, mayo on rolls. I think is really good. But the gari I do like. I do like that on rolls, and I shouldn't. But yeah, the first time I ever made my own pickled daikon at the restaurant, because my boss was, I knew what I was getting into, and I like daikon, but I knew what was going to happen when I made it, and so I just never really got into it very much. I did some quick pickling kind of thing, where I would take it, toss in a little, basically vinaigrette, and then go straight onto the plate. And so it was kind of more like dressed than pickled, and that was fine. But one time I did pickle it. I had it pickled in there for a couple of days. I don't remember how long I had it in there for. And I opened it up, took the lid off, or took the plastic wrap off the container, and it was just sitting on the table. And I remember the owner came back, and my boss came back, and he's like, what the fuck what stinks? Like, what is that smell? And I was like, that's the pickled daikon that you've been wanting me to use, wanting me to try. And he's like, oh, really? Yeah. So it gets pretty rough. Please explain the dry pack versus the wet. Okay. So the scallops. So seafood can be not packed in, but soaked in a chemical that helps them absorb moisture, absorb water. So they'll do it to shrimp, and you'll see it with scallops. Here, let me pull up a scallops. And I'm just going to put images, and we're going to look at it, and I'm just going to put scallops, and let's see what pictures come up. And maybe I can find some of both examples. Okay. So this chemical absorbs moisture. So purveyors like it. They, it plumps up the scallops. It makes them heavier. So when you look at a scallop, this is a really good example. This is a bay scallop, but you see the color of it. It's like an opaque, kind of pinkish. Sometimes they'll even be like orange or yellow, and that's cool. Oh, you know what? You probably couldn't. You guys couldn't see that, could you? But you can kind of see that. Now, this one here, you see how it's kind of white, versus these that are like kind of pinkish or, almost flesh colored or whatever, and they're opaque. See if there's any more down here. These are sort of opaque color. This is another good color down here. These are all pretty good looking. So if you look at those, and you can also see how these kind of are, I don't want to call them, they're soft, they're tender. You can see when they sit that they kind of squish down a little bit. They're definitely not super firm. Like this is a good example here of color. This is a great example of color. Most of these are pretty good, are looking pretty good. Now, when you get down to this guy, it's kind of white. It's actually really very white. And when we go back up to this one, these are very white too. So that's what happens when they're wet packed or they're soaked. It's called wet pack. They're soaked in that chemical. So they soak them in that chemical for a couple of minutes or however long. Then they put them into water and they absorb the moisture. They absorb the water, and then they weigh them and pack them, ship them off. And what happens is they cook like shit. They cook really poorly. They don't sear very well. The texture get chewy. They're firm to begin with, and then you cook them more. And because they have that extra moisture, and when you cook them, they actually purge that water. That moisture comes out, and it keeps them from searing. You'll actually put them on a flat top or in a skillet or something or in a pan, and you'll actually see like bubbles around the outside or like a ring of water around the outside, bubbling. And you're basically almost like more steam in them. And if you do sear them, a lot of times that sear will stick to the pan and it'll pull right off. Whereas what's called a dry pack scallop, they're not soaked, they're not anything. They're pulled out of the ocean, they're shucked, and they're put in tubs and they're sent out. So what I had an issue with once with my seafood purveyor, who was a legit guy. He'd been doing it for years. Just one day I started, and he got from different companies. I mean, he obviously, he was a buyer. He would go down, they'd go down to Philly they went to Baltimore and pick stuff up and bring it up, to there and then process it and sell it. Just one day, all of a sudden, I was like, man, these scallops suck. They're not searing. They look kind of white in color. They don't have that opaque kind of look to them. And so I called him. I was like, dude, I think I got wet pack scallops. He's like, I don't sell wet pack scallops unless somebody orders them specific, and nobody did that. I was like, I don't know, man. These are weird. And I used to get them in tubs of like 5-pound tubs. And I was like, all right, well, let's see what's going on. And I wasn't cooking. I wasn't on the line. I didn't notice it right away. So the next couple orders, I took notice to what the guys were cooking, and I called them back and I said, dude, these are cooking like shit. There's something going on with these scallops. So he called the guy, his buyer or whatever, and or the seller, and he said, "Hey, I got a guy saying that these scallops are wet pack scallops." He's like, "No, they're not. They're dry pack scallop." He's like, "All right." So he called me back and told me that, and I said, "He's full of shit. These scallops are fucked up. There's something going on with these." So he says, "Well, stop using them. I'll bring you some new ones tomorrow." He brought me some the next day, and they did the same damn thing. And so I called him back up again. He called his seller up again, and his seller said, "Well, they're dry pack." He says they're only soaked for 2 minutes or something, or however long he said. And he's like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, we're allowed to, by law, you're allowed to soak them for 2 minutes or whatever, and still consider them dry pack scallops." And he's like, "Dude, I got a chef up here bitching about this, and you're fucking he's telling me that they're a wet pack scallop, and they pretty much are." He's like, "Well, that's not really true." So he was fucking pissed because I was pissed, but he basically was embarrassed too. You know what I mean? Because he was kind of defending the guy a little bit, and then found out that. Now I don't know if that's still how the law is. I don't know if that's really how the law is, but that's what the guy was saying. That's what he was selling. So he stopped ordering scallops from that dude, and he was like, "Oh, I'm never ordering scallops from that asshole again."
It wouldn't surprise me. My cousin's husband, they're just opening a butcher shop, I think I've mentioned before, and they're trying to get their USDA and all that fun jazz. And they're allowed to inject the meat with so much water.
Right.
And he's like, "I would have never guessed this." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Why do you think friggin', people do prefer to, go to butcher shops and get their meat locally raised?" I was like, "Because if I can go there and make sure I'm not paying for a bunch of water that you're deciding to inject it with, I'd much rather do that."
Mm-hmm. And there's there's a fine line in there when you're pumping things with injecting things with certain solutions, because I totally agree with certain things getting they hit it with a solution and it's got some seasoning to it or whatnot. I think it's a good way to go. Same thing with a jacquard. When you jacquard something, when you use the meat tenderizer on it, it pokes all the holes in it. There's some things that I just don't like that at all, and there's other things that I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Let it rip. Do do your thing. Bacon is one that can be very touchy. A company that injects their pork bellies with a solution and a lot of solution. When you cook that, it shrinks up like a son of a bitch. They purge, and there's other companies that will do a wet cure or a wet age, and they'll inject it, and they don't go overboard with it. And then there's companies that'll do a dry pack, like old school dry age, and they pack it in salt or whatever, and that stuff is awesome. Jones, I think it is, does we used to use theirs, and they sell in the supermarket. They sell sausage and other stuff too, but we used to get slabs of their dry aged cherry wood smoked. That shit was awesome. It didn't shrink up as much. It wasn't like a weird texture, or a lot of times you can actually see when you lay a piece of bacon down that it has a bunch of holes in it. A lot of people don't notice it unless it's really it's really in your face. But with theirs, the texture was like, it was chewy but not tough, but it had like a natural chew to it that was so good. So if you ever find anywhere that does a naturally, like a dry cured bacon, get some and try it. It's awesome. Dudes, check out all the legal types of ham. Oh, yeah. Selling bunk scallops. Yeah. Sons of bitches. I know, right? rant and rave. I was I was ranting and raving. I was channeling my inner roll call before I even knew roll call existed. And that rant and rave went straight down the pipe. Most pork is fake. Yeah. Ceviche. I'm kind of touchy with ceviche too. I don't I don't want to say I don't get it a lot. There's not a whole lot of places to do it around me, but that's a touchy one that you don't know if you like a place's ceviche until you just try it. And some places do their ceviche too long, or they make it and they use it the next day or 2 days later or something like that. And it can get pretty chewy. I actually like scallop ceviche. Scallop ceviche is a really good one. And I would do my scallop ceviche to order at times, where I had it on the menu for a while as to order. And we would just let customers know, like, hey, this is a 15-minute dish, at least. Well, it was more than a 15-minute dish because we would let it marinate for 15 minutes in a really wicked, like, lime and, oh my gosh, I'm blanking out on the Japanese lime. Sudochi? No, not Sudochi. Sudochi? Where's Foss? Foss out there. Ask your wife. Sudochi? I think it's Sudochi. Is a Japanese lime, and they're pretty wicked. But I would take the scallops to order, slice them super, super thin, and put them in this marinade. I used yuzu too for a while. Yuzu's really interesting. Japanese, like a sour orange, but I always liked lime. So we do lime and honey, cilantro, scallion, the little red Thai chilies, not Sudoku, no. And so it was like a 20-minute dish because it fired all together, and literally I had a couple timers set up for my guys so they didn't pull it too early. And we just let it for 15 minutes, and it was just enough that it would take that and give it like a white hue without cooking it the whole way through and making it like crumbly and weird. And then we plated it up with mandarin oranges. I forget what else we did. I don't remember. It was a really pretty dish too. It was super pretty. Pork ceviche? Nah, no thanks. Pickles pig's feet. There you go. Too long or overnight will fuck up good seafood. Yeah. Calamari makes a really awesome ceviche too, as long as they don't overdo it, because it'll get chewy. It gets like rubber bandy. But we used to use all sorts of stuff. We did tuna. We've done salmon. I really like scallop. Really liked Cali and shrimp. Shrimp does great too. Shrimp does a really nice one. I used to slice those super thin and make like little thin C shapes, and they cook, or they ceviche really, really fast. And then a couple other things. I don't remember what else we've done. They were never super popular. We never sold a lot of ceviche, which is unfortunate. So we would just do it, and that's why I like doing it to order, because then it wasn't sitting around. What do you do with ceviche if you don't sell it, I mean, it's a tough one to use up. So that's why I always thought that ceviche to order with the scallops was pretty cool. And if you sold a couple, you sold a couple. If not, then, whatever. You weren't sitting around with it. Yeah, cooking with citrus. Eyeball ceviche? Well, yeah. So, what do you guys have? You guys ventured into like the ceviche thing? Have you guys ever had it?
Yeah, yes, I've had it quite a bit. I've had traditionally made ceviche.
My not the boss, one of my bosses a few years ago, one that's passed away now. He was from Peru, and his mom used to do ceviche, and she did it with whitefish. I don't even remember what it was. If it was just like it could have just been like haddock or something. It was just a real mild. I asked my wife. She looked at me like I was stupid and closed the door. Well, sorry. She was probably hanging out with that squirrel. Leftover ceviche as a staff meal. Yeah, pretty much. I guess you could toss it in some tomato sauce and turn it into like a pasta dish or something. We just toss it in there really quick. Not cooked it anymore, just warmed it through. Ceviche to order was a new one for me after living in the Pacific Coast. In Mexico, I guess a blood orange version of the Dominican Republic is wicked good. I hate blood orange. So yeah, blood orange is pretty mild. Ceviche is a way of life here in South Texas. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Well, you're right off the Gulf too. How do you prepare non-traditional ceviche? I don't know. I don't know. I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't know what you would consider a non-traditional or traditional ceviche. I guess. I don't know. And when you get into things like poke, that's kind of like a lot of places will do a poke almost like a ceviche where they'll toss it in like a citrus. And that's kind of almost like a quick ceviche, but not. I tried to do poke a little bit too, and it just didn't fly. People just weren't into it. We tried. I tried so many different things. Central PA is tough. It's hard to introduce. It can be hard to introduce certain things. Pork and mayonnaise ceviche sold. There was a place, I think it was in Japan, that was doing weird stuff like that with chickens. Leave it in the sun. Yeah. That son of a bitch squirrel. Well, he left your place and went up to Foss's. That squirrel's farting in jars in Foss's backyard. It's crazy. Oh, G23 said he had traditional ceviche. What is traditional? What do you mean by traditional? What do you consider traditional ceviche, G23?
Okay, so there's a lot of places like they will bastardize an actual like Spanish ceviche made by, your Hispanic women and stuff. You get some of the American restaurants that won't actually follow a good recipe, and they're not using like cilantro and other different more traditional style garnishes and stuff that are in there. So yeah, you can get a non-traditional that doesn't have all your normal stuff that would be more traditional to Mexico.
Mm. Yeah, that's what I always played with. I always played with some, more Asian stuff. So I always kind of mixed in some cool Asian. I used to use the little red Thai chilies and stuff like that. Would give them a little bit of spice, and it was cilantro and Thai basil. Used to do a little Thai basil with it too. That was cool. And I was at work today for we were down at the restaurant today getting, oh my God, opening up boxes, and there are so many boxes in that fucking joint. Opening up boxes, putting it, trying to put stuff where it belongs. And I put the hostess stand together. That was a fiasco. That was like a 2-hour project. Goddamn. Jesus, I saw Amish potato salad at the store today, so I moved it out of the refrigerator section and put it next to the cake mixes out of respect. Yeah, it's like shoe fly pie. Let's put it on the windowsill and let it hang out there. Cilantro is the devil. I'm not a huge cilantro fan. My wife loves cilantro. I like it. I like it in stuff. I'm not a huge fan of like a big honking handful of cilantro on top of stuff, but I do enjoy it in things. And I've been getting up early too since the little dude's in school. He's been going to bed early and getting up early. He's a night owl, man, so he would stay up till 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning if you let him. But since we got to be at school at like 8:15, we're getting up at 7, going to bed like 8 o'clock or whatever. And I'm not 100% sure what the hell's going to happen here once the restaurant opens up too. And even with him at school, I mean, we're off tomorrow, but I don't know. I might have to start doing the show a little bit earlier. As if I'm going to be getting up and working breakfast shifts 5 days a week, and if I got to be up again at 6 o'clock in the morning on Mondays, I don't know. I'm going to be doing too many shows till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. So things might change up here a little bit once the restaurant gets closer. Foss says, and that's exactly what when people say they don't like cilantro, most of them say it's because they think it tastes like soap. That's actually super common. Bobby Flay, on the other hand, he always said, if you don't like cilantro, if you try cilantro, if you don't think you like cilantro, try it. If you try it and you don't love it, try it again. And then if you still don't like it, try it again. Eventually you'll like it.
No, it tastes like soap, just like how all IPA beer tastes like burning soap. It's worthless.
Yeah.
Y'all need to expand your horizons. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Isn't it something like, 10% of the population thinks cilantro tastes like soap?
Yeah, that's a thing. I don't remember what the percentage is, but yeah, that's a thing. It's something, some kind of enzyme in it or something.
Tastes
Most
like
people
chocolate to me.
Most people that like eat it and it tastes like soap, it's because they're missing a certain enzyme.
Could be. Yeah. I'm going to page back here a little bit. I know G threw a bunch of suggestions out there for the poll. Let me look back here a little bit. If anybody else, or if you want to put any of them back out there. I didn't write them down, and I should have.
I still think the FU tip should win out.
Yeah, I have that one. Let's see here. He has a question. Is it better for the wait person to treat all customers the same or treat each customer as they would like? No, that wasn't it. Do you go to a restaurant because you want to eat the meal versus decide the meal once you're there? That's a good poll question, but it's not. We can put that as a poll right now, but that won't be what we talk about next week. Let's say, do you know what you want? Do you know what you want before you go to the restaurant? Yes or no? Or are you the type of person that gets there and says, let's see what looks good?
So now there's always got to be like a certain dish that you have in your mind when you go to certain like styles of restaurants. Like if you're going to go to a Mexican restaurant, like a traditional non-American bastardized restaurant, then you definitely, you think of like lingua, menudo, pozole. If you're going to like an Italian restaurant, you're going to think more of like lasagna or, some pasta dishes, your fettuccine.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to go to like just an American restaurant, you're going to think of like hamburgers and steaks, kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you go to a pizza place and it's like you're not going to get pizza or stromboli or something. There's such a small amount of things that most people get. Sure, some people get other things. They'll get like a chicken parm or something like that. But let's see here. Most of them are just like yes or no kind of questions that I saw out there, not like topics. Abe says, was this before or after you started soaking in pineapple juice to keep it supple? So supple.
Yeah, there's an ancient callback.
Yeah. Don't try and make pineapple ceviche and leave it in there too long. It'll just turn to slime on you. If you eat soap and it tastes like cilantro, then it means you have extra genes. Yeah, probably.
So, how many people go and order lingua?
I haven't been to a place that has it in a long time, but I've gotten it before. And it's definitely one of those things that if it's done right, it's super good. But a lot of times, I think a lot of places get it, and it's just kind of bland and dry, you know? Poll so far. Do you know what you want before you go to before you get to the restaurant? 78% say yes so far. Hey, Pink, what's going on out there?
I would be one of those votes of yes, I know what I'm going to order before I get to the restaurant.
Yeah, I think most people do. I think most people do. I think even if you're not trying to do that, I think it's an instinctive thing in people to be like, to at the very least say like, I'm going to get a burger if I don't see anything better, or I'm going to have the salmon unless I see anything better. So I think that's like a baby step towards what we're talking about. What we're talking about is keeping an open mind. But I don't think most people do that. Tongue is good, but overcooked or under-seasoned or chunky equals gross. Yeah. When it's seasoned really well, when it's cooked really well, it's nice and tender, and it's sliced nice and thin. It can be super good. It's been a long time.
You gotta have it like in little cubes, especially on like your tacos and on your burritos and stuff. And if it's done just right, and like DJ was saying, if it's kind of seasoned right, it's like butter. It just melts. I mean, a lot of people who've never tried it, it tastes like a pot roast, kind of.
Sure. Yeah. And that's why I like it thin now, because I think a lot of times if it's too thick, it gets like, it's almost like, I don't want to compare it to liver, but if you eat liver, it has that kind of grainy, dry texture to it. Lingua can get like that too if you're not careful. It can dry out.
Or it can get really rubbery.
Right. Yeah. It says it's super lean, and that's how a lot of things are that are very, very lean. Sometimes, and this goes with any braise. When people braise things, lingua's braised a lot of times. We cook it in like with moist technique to keep it, from drying out. People will take that while it's still hot and take it out of the pan or whatever you want to call it, or whatever they cook it in, and that's horrible for a braise. It steams itself dry. The best thing to do with a braise or a pot roast, even if it's a pot roast or something like that, is to let it rest a little while in the liquid, or covered so that it holds that moisture in there. And lingua is the same way. If you take it out while it's still hot and it's steaming hot, it'll dry out on you, just like anything else will. And a lot of people do that. They'll take whatever they're braising out, put it on a cutting board or something like that, and wonder why it seems kind of dry on the inside. Whereas if you leave it in that that cooking liquid and let it cool down in that for 15 minutes or so, it'll suck it back up like a sponge. Suadero. What is suadero? I don't even know what that is. Hashtag suadero. Kind of lingua. Pink says, last tongue I nibbled on took half my shit in court. Let's see. We might call it sort of we're hopefully going up to camp tomorrow. You got some family going up there. hoping to have a day up there, take the little guy up, get him out on the 4-wheeler and stuff. Let's look at the Instagrams.
So when's your restaurant actually going to open?
It's looking like about a month yet. Like I say, we were in there doing some stuff. Already had some snafus. Went in today. They had turned the fridge, the walk-in cooler, and the walk-in freezer on yesterday, I guess. And I got there. My boss was already there, and he was walking around, and he was like, "Freezer's froze up." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" There's nothing in it, obviously, but so it froze. It must have froze up, ran a thaw cycle, and I guess it didn't drain right. So it shouldn't have froze up. So I mean, that's one issue. You know what I mean? But it happens. Whatever. So it froze up, thawed. And then when it started to freeze again, there was water on the floor. So there's water on the floor in the freezer that's frozen. There's ice on the friggin' fans that are in there. There was water dripping out the front of it. So that was interesting. So they're dealing with that tomorrow, I guess. It happens. But there's a ton of shit to do yet. We were, like I say, I put the hostess stand together today, and that took like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something, just tedious. And there's just a ton of stuff to do. As far as renovations and things that still need to get done, they said probably another 2 weeks, and hopefully we'd be pretty good to go. But it's always something. I mean, they're not rushing it. They're making sure we're doing everything the right way. And then after that, we got to get inspected, and who the hell knows what the kind of goofiness they might find and we have to fix, which happens to every place. Try and do everything by the book, and used to get an inspection, and they still find stuff.
So, what are the odds that you think you could probably be open by the time the Rod of Iron Festival happens?
When is that?
I think, second weekend in October.
Probably.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm trying to find a ride over there, so then I'm like, oh, it sounds like I could go over there, then take a trip down and see Midnight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should be. And I mean, I don't see why not. All right. So, oh, you know what? I don't think I hit the damn. I always forget to hit the damn audio. Share screen. Share audio. Boom. Bam. Pow. There we go. I feel like a classy restaurant would have more than a stand of Hostess Twinkies for dessert. We have 2. So there you go. So, we've seen we've seen people pull away with from the gas pump with the pump still in it before, right? And this must be in Russia again. Like, I don't know, this is crazy. Russia's a crazy joint, and I've even seen videos of people like driving down the highway with the fucking hose still coming out. But this is pretty epic.
They bring the quality engineering right there.
They bring the whole there must not be a break. They must not have had the breakaway. Look at that.
I just want to know, why does everybody in Russia have a dash cam?
I know, it seems like it, doesn't it? Look at that. That whole fucking place goes up. So it looks like
it's just Russia. It's also like Europe and that.
Yeah, they're good at that shit.
Apparently, the dash cam thing actually came out of the fact that there's a lot of like car theft and other
carjackings
there. Well, not only that, but it's also like people like faking like, oh, you hit me with your car type of things.
Oh yeah, I remember when that shit was happening in the United States. People would stop short on you on purpose. You know what I mean? Have you run into the rear end of them and stuff. I didn't get a chance to look into this, but it just says man holding baby shoots at multiple women following crash. They must have gotten a fender bender and the dude hopped out with a gun. Not cool. I'm looking like less of a shitty dad every time I pull up Instagram.
I hope he had ear pro on that baby.
Look, the kid isn't going to listen to him when he's older anyway, so might as well give him an excuse.
Yeah. Facebook pulled a boner here. Facebook issues apology after AI software labels black men as primates. Keep seeking videos about primates? Yes, or dismiss. Oof. Good one, Facebook. Yeah, epic fail. I like this one. I thought this one was pretty good. Get in, loser. We're leaving Afghanistan. Drives off without you. Pretty fucked up. Later, losers. What a mess. Now, I'm going to say that I think this might be product of the year, and this is pretty awesome. The ultimate way to serve corn to your guests. Look at that. Looks pretty awesome, huh?
It is a dishwasher safe. Can I buy it for an extremely low introductory price of $29.95 plus $10 shipping and handling?
Elon Husk.
Ooh.
Oh boy, this is a bummer too.
Oh, God, I hate it when they make that noise. Oh, this little black thing? Yeah. Hey, that the cable's already almost maxed out up there.
Dude was like, that cable's already almost maxed out up there.
What?
This is kind of neat. They have a company started in 1948. That's a bunch of Marines started Gene Company. I never heard of it. It just popped up on Instagram. I thought that was pretty cool. Down in North Carolina. Devil Dog Dungarees. This dude,
I know what.
This dude like fakes out his dog, and he's like goes to throw it one way, turns around and throws it the other way. He's like, ah ha ha, fake you out. Dog wipes him out.
That poor dog.
Yeah, runs into him, runs into the door. Like, ha, take that, son
Poor
of a bitch. Why is this in our bathroom? It's a menstruation crustacean station.
And divorce papers filed.
Yeah, right. I like it. I'm not sure what this one is. Oh, this is crazy. Here, I'm gonna put the sound on. So this dude's getting chased by a dog, and that's super important to him. So he goes face first into the windshield of that car, hard too, like really hard, and that barely phases him because he's so scared of the dog. You see that dog? Oh, this shit's wild. So this is in a convenience. I don't know where this is. This is in a convenience store. And I always, when I saw this, I remember when I was a kid, we had a washing machine once that ended up getting like a short in it or something. And there was a wire, must have been touching something metal. And I remember reaching into the washing machine and it zapped me. And, it scared the shit out of me, first of all, but super weird. Something must be going on with like this cooler. Because this dude holding a baby or holding a toddler or whatever grabs it and gets electrocuted. Drops the kid. And this dude comes over and like Chuck Norris is the door to get it away from him because he's like stuck on the door of being electrocuted. Fucking super wild, man. Guy's like, whoa, it's crazy. This was actually, I know Moo's dad sent me this. This is really 2 Live Moo's birth. This is from the hospital room. Tag him in that.
Try doing that without the fancy calf puller, just using your bare hands.
There you go. Majority of men look into the heart, not the face. Looking at your heart. This was another one, Mr. going out on the boat all the time. You don't have to strap the boat down, but it helps. How would you like that? Hitting the damn red light and having the boat run up over your truck like that. That's brutal.
The Dodge.
Yeah. I got a fat-faced puppy looking at me, looking for a treat. Here, we're gonna get some treats. Yeah, what are you doing? Oh, there you go. Go away.
If G-Webs is in here, if there's a puppy nearby, it has to get a belly rub. That's like just a rule.
I gave her some scratching and gave her a treat. Yes, here's a war wagon for you. When shit hits the fan, there you go, right there. Monster truck minivan.
And it's a Pontiac as well.
I agree with Thanos every day, a little more. Quick, everybody, let's take pictures of our food. Now, we've had a lot of videos about ladders. You guys know how me and ladders get along.
I'm
Somewhere.
thinking like gravity and heavy stuff.
Somewhere an ocean manual just burst into flames. Check that guy. Check out the balls on that guy. Holy smokes.
There is a fine line between having big balls and having no brain.
Whew. Yeah. Put the ladder in a cherry picker, hang the cherry picker over the creek, climb up ladder. Dude. That's scaring me just looking at it. me wandering in at 2 a.m. with a 1,000-mile coma going, clerk, welcome to Love's. You need to calm the fuck down.
I've been that guy. It's amazing when you walk into a freaking truck stop at 2 a.m. They're like, hey, I'm like, what the frick are you so cheery about fucking 2 a.m.?
They just got up, man. You forget. That's their hours, man. Here you go. Here you go. You want one of those? No, thanks.
Gee, midnight, even the crickets in my basement went quiet at that one.
What was it?
It was a chicken nugget, chicken tender. It's more like a dickin' nugget.
Oh, okay.
Dickin' tender.
DJ Plano still out there? He's probably figuring out how to order one right now.
This says former Arizona nurse pleads guilty to sexual assault after incapacitated patient gives birth to his child. Somewhere in here, I got a comment that says he will be played by Forrest Whitaker in the movie. You got that one sleepy eye. Forrest Whitaker is a shoo-in for that role. Here's a question for you. Arby's is buying Buffalo Wild Wings for $2.9 billion. This guy's got it right. He says, where the fuck did Arby's get $2.9 billion from?
Is it Arby's itself, or is it its parent company's parent company?
I don't know, man, but $2.9 billion for Buffalo Wild Wings right now, with the price of wings, I don't know. They're not going to be making very much money back.
That's literally what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So,
it's like the...
So can we see that boat picture come this like in that same row?
Oh.
No.
Oh yeah, no, it's about this dude. This guy's funny. And where are you going? Oh, come back. Oh, he's dead. Like he got sucked down by Pennywise. Here you go. Every city in the world, please wear a mask. We beg you. Hamburg, Germany. Maybe Germany's not such a bad place after all.
Oh, that's not a Shiza video. Or a billboard, I guess, in this case.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Germany.
This guy's just destroying the hippies.
My water just gets cold.
I don't know. Just mowing them down. Must be after like a fish concert or something.
Mm.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
Here, hold on a second.
And by the way, I don't know what the measure or expectation is of what a quote unquote successful withdrawal is, but I hope people understand that this is what war looks like. It is not neat and it is not pretty. It is violent. It is brutal. And we're out here And we're out here expecting like this is supposed to be a cakewalk. I mean,
So AOC is now an authority on war and what should and shouldn't be done in a withdrawal. And it sounds like she says everything's fine. Everything's good. Everything went okay. PN Woods Arby's beef and cheddars. I do not like Arby's beef and cheddar. I think they're bland as hell.
Well, you see, you're missing that extra enzyme or whatever.
That could be it. So, did you see this in Ohio? Football
tonight, an ongoing
a school scams its way into a nationally televised game. It's like they're not who they said they were, I guess. They said they were a high school, and they're not. They're like a trade school that has all sorts of different types of people playing for them. Some of them were actually not pros, but like, I guess, college players and stuff like that. They had some people that were like in their 20s, and they just smoked the other team, I guess.
Yeah, they're investigating it now.
Yeah.
Apparently it sprung up during everything with last year.
It's awesome.
It's like what was that? What was the baseball one where they had it was supposed to be the Little League World Series or whatever, and like the pitcher was like a 30-year-old Dominican guy. Like, I'm 13. This is just interesting. It's service dog. I was just watching that service dog. But I didn't know, and I guess this makes sense, that I just thought it was interesting because she had her dog's tail painted or dyed, colored different colors. It's like red, yellow, purple, green, like just kind of like a rainbowish color. And she said that was so that they're more recognizable if somebody steals them or takes them, which you never really think about being a thing or a problem, but I guess it really is. They're so highly trained that people would just take them just because they're such good animals.
But if the tail's dyed, couldn't you just cut the hair and then wait for the hair to grow back?
Yeah, but
then, people don't usually like shave the tails. They'll either like literally cut them so that they're shorter, or they just leave them be.
Yeah.
But my thing is, if I'm stealing a dog that has a tail that's dyed, I'm like, oh, I wonder why that is. That's going to be a clearly distinctive marking. Shave.
Well, that's the thing, though. Then you got a dog running around with a shaved rat tail too. That's super noticeable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like
Or just dye it another color.
Yeah. It's kind of the same. Just thinking of burning off your own fingerprints. Yeah, you don't have any fingerprints, but why don't you have any fingerprints?
Yeah. Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols said, I never thought I'd live to see the day where the right wing could become the cool ones, giving the middle finger to the establishment, and the left wing become the sniveling, self-righteous, twatty ones going around shaming everyone. That was kind of a neat t-shirt. Trader Joe's, where everything is for sale. This thing is pretty bitchin'. Just saying.
Yeah.
You think it could be fired while in motion?
At least once.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess you could try. It's kind of neat. They put like the little tripod, built like a tripod into it, kind of basically. Pretty cool. Wouldn't mind having one of those, kind of fun to have hanging around the house.
Somebody's following a little too close to you?
Yeah. Lawyers representing Parkland shooter argue he should not be called killer during trial. I mean, it's
An
probably
accurate description.
yeah. What else are you going to call him?
I mean, you killed someone. Whether or not murder would be the proper term, that's a legal
Right.
definition that the court can decide.
True.
But no, you killed.
Right.
Well, they're saying it should be referred to as alleged because to call him a killer would have to be that they've already been guilty.
I was gonna say that's
Right.
already saying that he's guilty, and honestly, I would make the argument that it plants in the jury that he did it.
It says Cruz has been charged with 17 counts of first-degree murder and faces a possible death sentence, but his lawyer argued that terms like killer, the massacre, the schoolhouse slaughter, and execution, or other terms, are inflammatory and should be avoided when discussing the specifics of the shooting in Parkland.
No, I don't agree with that. I'm gonna say, but if they're just like, and they're saying the killer, or he's the killer or something during the trial, I think that would be misleading for the jury. But obviously, they got to be able to describe what the hell happened there during the trial. So those other things, I think, should be perfectly fine.
Woods has a super perfect question out there. He says, how have we not already tried that case? Yeah, how is it? I mean, it's
because COVID.
Yeah, probably.
Well, that's what it was. They pushed it back because technically, I think it should have been done already because it's been over 2 years. So it should have been done. But because of COVID, they're like, oh, we're going to push it out, which I think is complete BS because, again, you have the right to a fast and speedy trial, which fast and speedy apparently by current legal standards is 2 years or less. So the fact that they haven't gotten it done in 2 years, I think, there's some other issues to be raised there.
One thing, it still has to be a speedy trial unless he waived his right to a speedy trial, and more likely than not, his attorney agreed to waiving the right. At that point, it can be put off as long as they want. 2, they're going to, due to the fact that it was a high-profile case, they're going to try to let emotions settle so that they can attempt to get a reasonable jury. Now, to get a fair jury, that's not going to happen more likely than not, unless you're going to hold out for like 10 years.
Sorry, kid.
Oh.
Sorry about your brain damage.
Yeah, it looks more like that neck and upper back area.
Ugh.
No, like right between the shoulder blades.
I'm thinking the kid probably deserved it.
Maybe.
They left 2 kids without fathers. Michael Rosado's wife and family are distraught over his death. They blame the NYPD for killing an innocent, unarmed man.
He didn't have no firearm. His hands were up.
Street in the Fordham Heights section of the Bronx. It's around 4:30 Sunday morning. That argument escalates, and you can see Michael Rosado firing shots in the air. 2 off-duty NYPD officers hear the shots, and they respond. Rosado fires at the officers. They return fire, hitting the 24-year-old in his torso. The entire time, the gun is exchanging hands between Rosado and his father, Rafael. Rafael is also seen firing at the officers, ducking down behind a car. At one point, Rosado stumbles and falls to the ground. His father, Rafael, now has the gun. He leaves the scene, but comes back. In all, police say 8 rounds were fired at the officers. City council member and Democratic candidate for Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson also watched the video.
He pointed a weapon at police officers. He intended to shoot a police officer, and that will never end well. The police officers responded in the way that they were trained, and they did what they needed to do. And then his father was also engaging with police officers as well.
Still, the community believes the outcome should have been different.
Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
The video is evidence in a
What kind of horse shit is that?
It's people
Like-
that don't want to look at evidence. They just want to listen to shit and
Crazy. Like, I mean, it's just bananas, man. Makes no sense at all. Stand there and scream, hands up, don't shoot.
Victim mentality.
Oh, this was just kind of funny. I like this.
Good fucking morning, American. Make sure you brush your teeth, wash your face, and load your cake. Okay? All right.
Brush your teeth, load your cake. Don't forget. Forget what this one is. Oh yeah, this is how you know you got a good friend. There's some friends on this world. People have friends that are just fair weather friends, and you know they leave you when times get tough. They take off. This dude's got a good friend. He picks him up and takes off, man. Oh, these little slingshot things, these are always funny. These are always good times. And passed out. And lost weight. She was out like a light, man. Dude, there's so many videos of people passing out on those fucking things. It's crazy. No thanks. There was one not too long ago too, where the one side broke.
is that with the kid that was like almost falling out, and like the kid's mom or whoever he's with is just laughing hysterically?
I don't remember. No, it never got off the ground. Like it snapped when they were pulling it back, and it was like, fuck that shit, man. No way.
That?
There's Two Live Moon and his honeymoon. I don't know where can a person get such a machine? That looks like no, don't say that. Men can pass abortion bans because we can get pregnant now too. Yeah, it's true. They say men shouldn't pass this stuff, but I don't know, they say men can get pregnant now, so I don't know.
If they're going to make the argument that men shouldn't pass stuff like that, then I say that anybody who is not a firearms owner should not be legislating firearms laws.
There you go. Moo says the wife and I did a slingshot ride in Cancun. And it broke a week later.
That's a good thing that you got in early, then.
Yeah.
Oh, was anybody on it when it broke?
Coincidence? This was Philly. Philly got fucking wrecked, man. Philly and New York. We were lucky. We got a lot of rain here, but nothing too horrible. I mean, some people got flooded and whatnot, but nothing like this. This shit was crazy.
Does somebody have a crying kid in the background?
No, that's Mochi. That's our French bulldog. That's
really?
That's her snoring. Yeah, that's her snoring.
Wow.
Hey, Mochi.
Let's say,
hey, Mochi.
My mom's French bulldog has that breathing issue also, but
no, she snores all
I
the time.
never got to hear him snore. So
yeah, all the time. This was pretty neat. I mean, I know we don't do a whole lot of like baking stuff here. But this was just a pretty cool technique that they did here. They used a cake comb on it and then went to the top of the cake with it. I just thought this was kind of neat. And they alternated smooth and combed. It's kind of cool.
Way too much frosting.
Never
He said
enough
I wasn't
frosting,
fat, isn't it? Yeah, never enough frosting. There you go.
especially if it's buttercream.
I forget what some of these are.
I agree with Abe.
Oh, this is pretty funny. It's set up, obviously.
Yo, I need a haircut, man. Why did you do that? I need a haircut. I don't have no time.
You're gonna get your ass whooped.
I need a haircut, man. I got no time.
I'm gonna remember that the next time I need a haircut.
Listen to that works out for you.
Florida restaurant owner tells Biden supporters to take your business elsewhere. If you voted for and continue to support and stand behind the worthless, inept, and corrupt administration currently inhabiting the White House that is complicit in the death of our servicemen and women in Afghanistan, please take your business elsewhere. God bless America and God bless our soldiers.
The woman who owns that place apparently has gotten a lot of death threats since then.
Yeah, fuck them. Start carrying if anybody does anything, plug them. Report, Biden wasn't checking watch. He was making sure there was no blood left on his hands. That was pretty rough. That was a rough one. That's a spicy meatball. If I was Johnny. What's up, dickback?
Buddy's got back.
I don't remember what this one is.
Walking this way. No.
Oh.
One step. Oh my God.
Check that out.
Josh, you should be a stuntman. He's a fullback. It's walking this way. No. One step. Oh my God.
That looks like somebody
Josh, you should be a stuntman.
He plows over that other guy. He's like, get the fuck out of here, man. It had some sort of flame up. I don't know what it was. Something spilled, maybe. I don't know. One medium deep dish pizza. Pepperoni. Right? Fuck it. Using pepperoni. Fuck it.
There you go.
Somebody dropped the beans. Dinner rolls.
Lost
been in there
forgotten.
Oh yeah, that's a 4-hour job right there. They've been in there about 4 hours. Rice ciabatta, I don't know what that is. Into garlic bread, no bun. Sorry, I know. Bummer.
Well, there's where all of Joe's pudding went.
So these kind of videos are always important for me because it always shows you like, hey, I'm an all right dad.
Out here having a great time, having a little bit of fun, but wait a minute. Oh, my goodness. The father just drove his son into the fucking ground, and he's not doing well. And we have to really keep an eye on that kid as the father gives two shits. He's as competitive as ever. He's one of those little league dads that gets in the fight with the umpire when the game is irrelevant. Places the red flag on top of the child. Green flag as well, and we really have to check that kid for a pulse. He might be dead. Anyways, dad wraps him up like a fucking zombie, picks him up, and he knows his son's smiling. It was all part of the plan. We got fooled, Peter, here in the booth.
The commentary was just so funny. Picks him up like a fucking zombie. These, I think I was watching a few of these the other night. I was having trouble sleeping. Some of these funny commentary ones are pretty good.
Missed you, Peter. Good to be back. Oh my God, we left off just where we were before. His fucking head fell off. Justin Fields, let's look at the replay. Coming in like a fucking freight train, and he got raped. Yeah, we can't say that, Peter. It's 2021. We're going to cut to a commercial. And, well, I guess we're...
Oh. Dude, this dude is so lucky he's not dead. He hit straight on the side of his head. He like pile drived himself into the concrete. Baseball would be better to watch if commentators talk that way. Yeah, I agree. Rough. This is pretty cool.
Watch this, man. He's gonna kill it.
Oop, hey, what happened?
Watch this, man. He's gonna kill it.
It was pretty cool. I watched that for a little. It was pretty neat. He's a cool little kid. Oh, did you guys see this one? This one popped up on somebody else's station too. Somebody else's channel they reposted.
Oh my god!
It's one of those big ass blades from one of the fans, the turbines. Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh shit! Oh my god!
That was all the fault of his
oh my god!
truck in front. You know, the oversized truck.
No, he actually
he's caught on the freaking buckboard.
He's caught on the he's actually, if you look over here on the left, he's caught on the lights. See it? He's stuck on it, and he was like trying to get around it, and then they just said fuck it, and he floored it, but wasn't fast enough to get out of the way.
Yeah, with those loads, it's not like they're just, going and making the turns. Some of those turns have to be super precise with.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how you make that turn. I mean, he's got a lot of trailer left to get past that, and then he should have said fuck it 5 seconds earlier. He'd have been okay. Whew, scary.
At that point, I think either way they're dicked because, I mean, those windmill blades are so precise. Any damage in transit is going to be thousands of dollars coming off their pay anyways. So obviously having it destroyed by a train is least ideal, but
another actor ruined by drugs and alcohol.
I actually got to watch that the other day. It was surprisingly not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I talked about it the other week. I guess you weren't here.
If it was any time in the month of August, I wasn't.
Yeah. We really enjoyed the second half of it, or the second 2/3 of it or so. I didn't really like the first half. I thought it was like throwaway movie, kind of like, I just didn't, I don't know. I didn't really dig it. And then, about a third of the way into it, I really started to like it, and we enjoyed it. But yeah, the first, I was playing on my phone and not hardly digging it, not paying attention hardly at all, because I didn't like it. It's almost, to me, it was almost like two movies,
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how I felt about it. That was the first film that I've stopped halfway through and didn't go back for a while, and then I finally watched the rest of it the other day, and I was like, oh, it's actually got way better.
Yeah, I felt the same way. Like, I was, half an hour into it or whatever, I was like, I even said to the wife, I was like, but this is really, this is kind of shitty, I don't remember exactly what I said to her, but I was like, oh man, I'm not digging this at all. And then, an hour later, I started liking it, and I thought it was really good. It just, and I understand, the first half of the movie was set up. I just think it was too much setup. Like, they didn't have to drag it out so long,
Well, they hated the way they did it in the first one, where it was literally, here's your little 5-minute movie for each character, rather than doing it slightly more organic through the movie.
Mm-hmm. And Pete Davidson was in it, so we had to watch it because my wife loves Pete Davidson. She thinks he's super hot. She always gets all squirmy when he's on a TV, and she digs him. That's my test to see if she's watching the show right now. My phone starts blowing up. She's watching. This artist makes animal chalk art, and it's the best thing you'll see. These are really cool. So there's like a little baby T-Rex with a rock. Some of this, some of this stuff is amazing. I've always end up when I see something like this, I always click on it and end up going through. There's a little mole. There's a little otter on a tree stump. Little mouse. There's another otter and a stump. Super cool. Pig and a little dude, little alien.
Little snail.
It's just, yeah, that's probably what it is. A snail. There you go. Just super creative, but like it's just amazing looking, man. It just doesn't look like it should be real. That's a water pipe or something. You know what I mean? Like the cap,
the sprinklers.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is neat. Like it's just, I don't know, man. It's I can appreciate how cool that is. You know, there's a lot of talent in that.
Mm-hmm.
I like this one. Hello, Daddy Ben. We've been trying to reach you about your Humvee's extended warranty. Sons of bitches. This is a golf one. When you shoot a personal best 38 on the front with a 52 on the back and don't even break 90.
Prematurely shot my wad on what was supposed to be a dry run, if you will, so now I'm afraid I have something of a mess on my hands. Afraid I prematurely shot...
Creepy. Breaking news. John Travolta was hospitalized for suspected COVID-19, but doctors now confirm that it was only Saturday Night Fever, and they assure everyone that he is staying alive. He had chills, and they were multiplying. Where I got it in here somewhere. I was like, incoming dad joke. Whew. This is pretty true.
¿Qué?
Arguing with our liberal.
¿Qué pasa en su corral? Zapatero. ¿Qué opina usted del gobierno de Zapatero? Pues igual que yo. ¿Y qué opina usted? ¿Qué opina usted del gobierno canario? ¿Y de los ayuntamientos de la isla? Vamos a ver, ¿qué es lo que pasa con los alcaldes? ¿Qué es lo que pasa con los alcaldes? ¿Qué está pasando con los alcaldes? ¿Qué está pasando con
Mel Moose doesn't look quite as good ever since he lost all that weight.
Yeah. Max, this was Roll Call put this one up, and this is a good one. And this shit's funny, and Max Saul's Russian ammo ban by buying up all the 7.62 and selling it on Gunbroker. I think we mentioned that one last week when whoever originally put it up, and then Roll Call put it on there. And of course, I know Johnny. I give Johnny a hard time, and I know Johnny is part of the gun collective or whatever, and he's in tight with these dudes, so he would never put this on his show. But I tagged him in it just to make sure he saw it, and says, "Okay, Johnny Appalachia, that's how you make a spicy meatballs."
Balls.
And of all the ones over the past like week or two that are, you know, these funny memes that kind of hit a little hard, he didn't put this one on his show. It's funny. He didn't want to make fun of his buddy, I guess. Okay, this is just weird. It says, if you think there's not someone out there thinking about corn cob in your leg, you're wrong. I'm out of here. What the fuck is that? I don't even. It's so weird. Hello.
And now speed off.
Yeah. He's like, I'm okay again. I think he's holding his shoe. The dude's face, like, I think slammed into the back of it. He's pretty lucky he's still got a face there. Americans owning firearms? No. The Taliban owning American attack helicopters? Yeah. It's all right. It's all right.
It's all right, cocaine.
Florida barbershop owner shoots masked gunman who was upset about haircut. And originally you think like, okay, what the hell happened? And it's Florida, right? So barbershop owner shot and injured masked gunman who came into the shop pointing his gun at several people inside. The perpetrator was reportedly upset over a haircut. 3:25 p.m., 3 in the afternoon. Dude fucked up. Guess he's pissed off about his haircut. Came back in with a gun, was fucking acting like an asshole, and owner shot him.
That might be the one that Bearing Arms did a story on the other day. I was talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually supposed to be another guy that he was going to get a haircut from that was one of the other barbers in the shop, and it was the owner that was like, hey, man, I could do you right now. I got nappy hair like you do, and that's what pissed the guy off. And when I grabbed a gun, came back in.
Oh, no shit.
Tried to do it, and then the owner shot him, and everybody called the cops, and they're like, it was self-defense. Stand your ground.
Yeah. That's wild. So... So if I've ever wanted to punch anybody in the fucking mouth, it might be this guy. And I can't believe this dude doesn't have bruises and cuts and lacerations all over his fucking face. A New York man was arrested after kissing a 5-year-old girl in the lips at a grocery store in Florida. Florida man. This chicken fuck is being charged with child abuse without great bodily harm. He was captured on camera at the public store handing the young girl a bag of M&Ms and leaning down to kiss her on the mouth. He did not know the little girl. The mom saw him. The mom freaked out, of course. And the mom could identify him. So I would imagine that after a week in jail, I would hope he probably doesn't look as good as he does there. So you're telling
it's just as good because they can't put inmates like that in general pop anymore without
it's
a lawsuit.
So you're telling me this is a statue of the Virgin Mary?
No, part of her.
Looks like a road map. Road map to Funtown.
All right.
Giggity.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys know what burrata is. Burrata is fresh mozzarella that inside has some of the mozzarella curd with heavy cream. So it's like a encapsulated sort of this chopped, almost creamy cheese encapsulated in fresh mozzarella.
Right, mozzarella cheese.
So crispy burrata, they must do like a fried burrata, which would be fucking amazing. No cheese. So I guess you're just getting breading.
I don't know. Fried breading.
This one we've seen before.
Yeah.
This one we've seen this one before, but this is a good reminder how not to put out a fire if you have a little grease fire going on. This guy's
Dude's
like,
on his phone. Like, oh, what do we do?
No, he's holding a towel. He's just like, oh no, what do I? Yeah, he doesn't know what he doesn't know what to do. What the hell happened? Why did it stop? That's the second or third time that the video stopped on me. I don't know why.
Are you supposed to pour alcohol on that?
No. You're supposed to get like a high pressured water hose, stick it under the oil, and turn on full blast. That's what you're supposed to do.
I'll tell you what. Pouring alcohol on this wouldn't be as bad as what this dude does. Does. Because this dude goes and gets like a bucket of water. And this is like one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen anybody do in a kitchen. Boom. And everything's on fire. That's crazy. Bummer. Power went out last night while making bread and they overproofed. If you've never lit a range top like that, you ain't even a real cook.
Not much of a cook. You only got 4.
That's true. Maybe the other ones weren't on. Oh, so I never realized that you could do something like this. I mean, that's just a flash can, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just a. I mean, that's not a. He's got it like hashtag suppressors, but that's not a suppressor. That's just like a flash can, I imagine, right?
Does it show whether or not it is completely open on the end?
Actually, it doesn't. It's not completely open. It does look like it only has a hole. Let me see if I can get it stopped to see it. Yeah, it does. It just has a hole. So I mean, I guess it is a suppressor. It's just there's got to be hardly any baffles in it. You know, there's no room for baffles, right? Or am I wrong? I mean, that's pretty cool, though. Again, 2 live moves, baby pictures. I don't know who'd let their kid do that, but that's kind of weird.
I mean, look, it builds the immune system.
I suppose. The old-timey picture from the early 1900s. Foss says his can has a quick disconnect. Yeah, not that it has the quick disconnect, but the fact that he had a flash hider on it and was able to just fit it over top of the flash hider. That's the part that kind of got me.
If I recall, isn't like Surefire do something kind of like that a while ago?
I don't know. And it's definitely a suppressor. It's not a flash can. I thought maybe it was a flash can, but it's not.
That is gangster. Here's the only thing
I ought to slap your white ass.
that is gangster. Here's the only thing
I ought to slap your.
This is kind of cool. The Atlanta Braves reserved 13 seats, and they draped flags over them for the 13 the 13 killed at the airport in that bomb. The 12 Marines and 1 naval officer or medic. That was pretty cool. It was neat. Something neat they did. She fed him to the clown, man. She's running. She like threw him back. Foss is the one that sent me this one, actually. The guy was like, that's okay, buddy. These people.
Uh-oh! What's that? Come on, she don't want it. She don't want it. Uh-oh!
We don't want it either, lady. Whatever you got, you can keep it.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
I do like that troll hairstyle she's got going on there. That's pretty fancy. Remember the old treasure trolls back in the day?
Mm-mm.
She don't want it. Yeah, neither does anybody else. Move along, Grimace.
Are you gonna go looking for the gem?
This is a pretty neat patch. Patriot Patch Co. did, or is going to do, I guess.
Bit of nice.
That's pretty cool. No, this was the dogs that were left behind, the working dogs. I had heard that somebody was going to go over and try and get them. Did anybody hear anything about that?
Nope.
Were they able to get any of them?
So allegedly, all the dogs were running free.
Yeah, they cut them loose. They weren't in cages.
And supposedly some humane society or animal society was supposed to like go get them. That's like, I think it was from some country close by. I don't remember the whole entire thing.
Yeah, that's what I had heard too, and I didn't hear any updates. And yeah, I should have looked it up. But
That's
what a
because
bummer!
They ate them.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't know, man. Like, if you shoot a canine, it's just like shooting a cop. These animals should have come home. Dead Horse is out there now. What's up, buddy? He says Military Times dismissed this as fake. They talked to dog handlers, and all they have talked to said their dogs have come home with them. Okay, well that's good. I mean, that's way better than what they were saying was that they ended up cutting some of them loose. This is a bad PR propaganda. Thanks, man. I appreciate you saying that. I like this. The way things are looking, we might have to get the band back together. Spicy mustard ice cream?
No.
Frog chunks, onion bits, and relish. Relish ripple. I like it. I like where you're going there. It's like sandwich ice cream. That's some weird piercings.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I feel bad because I'm not a great speller. But at least I didn't put fish, shrimp, baked chicken, oxtail, like AUX, curry goat. You got curry goat left, right? Well, I guess it's supposed to be curried. But spiar ribs and strew beef. I don't know what the fuck strew beef is supposed to be. Stew beef? I don't know.
Beef stew.
Beef stew, I guess. I hope they didn't. I hope that's pretend.
Well, actually, it's supposed to go outside the restaurant for first day of business, but you just ruined your own surprise.
Mm.
Woof.
This is what Gizzard Gary looks for in a lady. Chicken feet and chicken hands.
You had you look at it.
Boom.
Damn! Oh, that's it.
He's out. Now this dude doesn't at all look coerced. Taliban coerces Afghan TV host to tell Afghans to cooperate with it and should not be afraid. Sure, no, I wouldn't be afraid if I saw that on my local news, would you? Be fucking loading magazines. Oh, did you guys see this one? This was Mac posted this, and then I think Mike over at MW Tactical posted it, I believe, too. This shit is scary. That dude almost turned his head into a canoe. I don't know if he actually caught him with the bullet or if it was just the blast. But I mean, that's pretty scary.
He might have grazed.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's a bummer. That really sucks.
Yeah, break out the shop vac.
Yeah. Just shovel it out into the dumpster.
Don't worry, it can still be served.
Chicken burger, medium.
Do not overcook. No buns, no fries. Well,
There
it's
you
not
go.
a chicken burger. You just want a piece of chicken.
Yeah. Garlic bread. It used to be. Now it's charcoal briquettes. Or beans. Bummer. Like, this is pretty funny. Message. It's Eamon. I'm locked in the office upstairs. Need someone to open it from the outside. They must have the portable, the handheld order things.
You know, the things.
Yeah. Why is she wearing a dress if she's just going to let her rodent vagina hang out of it? Why wear shirts? Why wear a dress if you're not going to wear any pants? This is the coolest cooler I've ever seen. Iron Maiden cooler. I want an Iron Maiden cooler. It's fucking awesome. So this is apparent. It says it's better to burn out than fade away. Kurt Cobain. I'm not sure that looks more. Yeah, I don't know if it's. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe it is David Spade and somebody just wrote that beside it. There you go. That genie that lives inside a bottle of gas station boner pills.
He's too air than you.
Riff raff.
Discount Kenny Powers.
Yeah.
Rex Viper.
The man who killed Robert F. Kennedy in 1960s granted parole. How the fuck does somebody that kills somebody like Robert F. Kennedy ever get parole?
I would love to know that one.
I mean, it doesn't get any more high profile than that.
Probably not profitable enough to keep him locked up.
I don't know. OJ got away with it.
Well, his sentence was commuted to life prison.
Imagine him coming out of jail now, though, being locked up for, 60 years?
Yeah.
I mean, just think about how much the world would change from the 60s to the 90s, but now, holy cow.
Here's a corn. Here's a corn maze for Joe Biden.
I don't see no pudding cups.
He'd probably still get lost. This is pretty good.
No.
I have it on my Facebook page.
Another smooth criminal. Oh, it's not locked.
Dumbass. Oh,
Yeah.
lady, grab a cigarette.
Couldn't just reach in there and try the door first just to make sure. Even if it was locked from the outside, doesn't mean you can't unlock it from the inside. Oh, this one. Ugh, and unconscious. Look at me, I'm so cool. And dead.
Oh. Ow, ow, ow.
I don't know. Every time I go to the beach, I want to do this. So this popped up and I was like, man, I want to hang out there. I want to hang out there. That's so cool. You can build a fire in there or something at night. That'd be awesome.
Then all of a sudden it caves in.
And the popo.
Then you can be like a movie or something for them digging you out and saving your life. You'll be famous. Chicago suing DoorDash and Grubhub for deceiving restaurants and customers during the pandemic. The city of Chicago is taking action against those two sons of bitches, claiming that the companies engaged in unfair practices. The separate suits accused the food delivery services of hurting restaurants during the thick of the COVID-19 pandemic. The companies are accused of charging misleading fees to their customers and falsely advertising their services for eateries that were not using Grubhub and DoorDash. Chicago is also accusing the companies of hiding additional costs that were added to customers' orders. In the Grubhub suit, the city says that they even made imposter websites that mimicked restaurants to deceive customers.
That's nuts.
Alleging that the corporation had exceeded a local 15% fee cap on restaurants, so they were overcharging, blah blah blah, all that shit, but also doing some whatever. I don't know. I didn't look into another article. I just read that, but I pretty much refuse to do DoorDash and Grubhub. It's so fucking expensive, and the quality of food is almost always horrible. Like if you get anything that's at all time and temperature sensitive, it sucks till it gets there. And I've been on both sides of it. Like I see what happens when people order DoorDash and Grubhub and they don't come and pick the shit up for like forever. You know, the foods, they'll call in, you'll get a DoorDash order. It'll get cooked and it'll sit there in a fucking bag or a to-go box for like 10 or 15 minutes till they show up. And we had multiple issues with people using and ordering from old menus that they found online, stuff that we don't even have anymore. We didn't even have anymore. And there was no way to get back in contact with them. So we would just have to wait for the DoorDash person to get there. And let's say they ordered a pizza, a burger, and something that we don't even have anymore. The DoorDash person would get there and be like, well, we don't have that on the menu. We don't know where they got this menu from. And they'd be like, okay, well, just give me what they got. And people would order stuff and not realize they weren't getting it until the dude showed up at their house to give it to them, that there was stuff missing. I hated it. I don't hate this guy. I want to hang out with this guy. Nitrous. That's on a dirt.
Shattering kaboom.
That's on a dirt track. I would love to see that on a fucking street and watch that thing take off.
My inner white trash is just like doing cartwheels right now. That's incredible.
It's buzzing. Yeah. JoJo Siwa will make history as part of the first same-sex pairing on Dancing with the Stars. Who gives a shit anymore?
Old people.
Like who cares? I mean, why is that? Why is that? Not even that. Just why is it a big deal? I mean,
because it's a marketing ploy. Look at how nice and special we are.
100%. It is just a marketing ploy, and it's pandering and whatever. But I mean, with all the shit going on and all the craziness that's going on, like 2 chicks dancing together, who gives a shit? Like, really? You need pineapple juice. Here's a good way to do it. I've seen people do this with watermelons too.
Mm-hmm.
Pineapple's gonna knock you out.
But this was super violent. And he caught it in the face, which is also pretty funny.
Yeah, serves him right for making that weird song.
Yeah.
I wonder if he tried a pineapple, for the safe word when it exploded in his face like that.
Yeah. Pineapple. His comment said, "That's enough Instagram for today."
So, who's gonna be the first one to order that and send it to somebody we all know?
Yeah, I know, right?
Somebody. I don't know, several somebodies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it does say toxic on the bottom, so.
What is it though? Sorry.
It's a white crayon with a brown top. It looks like it stuck in somebody's butt.
Oh, okay.
And the top of the box says "Curious" in the Crayola font.
Can we send it to Goods and find out the flavor?
The funny thing is he commented on there. If you actually look in the comments, he's one of them that commented.
Look, it's a chocolate vanilla squirrel. Yeah, did he comment on here? Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a million comments. There you go. My sister for lunch to celebrate met my sister at lunch to celebrate her new driver's license. Should have had the sound on, I guess. I think you can hear it, even from inside.
It is an all-wheel drive.
He said it doesn't have a color on it. It just says toxic. Oh, the crayon just says white. This is how I feel every morning. Wakey, sore and achy.
Waffles do sound good right now.
Oh yeah, that's actually a pretty slamming looking sandwich.
But with it being Burger King, they're probably going to screw it up, and it's not going to be a crispy waffle.
Waffle?
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Bonk.
All men and women created by go. You know the thing. Rock and I think it's a right for people that bad at chemotherapy. I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
That's what happens when you give your kid too big. You go whack on the head.
Sorry, buddy.
How the fuck do you get a job and fuck up everything? Everything. This motherfucker has fucked up everything. Gas, water, air, everything. How the fuck do you get
It's like that, boy. SD, like, hey, boy, you gonna act.
Oops.
It's like that, boy. SD, like.
What's he saying? Or she? I'm not.
It's a dude.
Okay.
It's a very annoying dude.
What he didn't tell us, he really wanted to replace that window in the first place.
Did you guys see this? Did you see the picture of the the frozen chicken that got messed up, came out of the box? That's legit. That really happened. There was a case of frozen chicken or something, and the box got ripped open, and when it got tossed onto the carousel, it came out of the box. Fucked up. Body rolls out of stolen mortuary van during high-speed police chase. Don't hear that every day, huh?
Nope.
Doesn't that happen in Bad Boys too?
Yeah, honestly, maybe you shouldn't put this on your resume. Reason for leaving: slept with the boss's wife.
Boss found out I was sleeping with the boss's wife.
Yeah.
Incredible. But what if your new boss likes guys?
That's true. It's a win-win. So this sounds fucking horrible and gross. Flamin' hot flavored Mountain Dew is coming to spice up your life. Ah, what the hell? I hope that's not real.
So that might be how I got what is now my ex to like me. It was I spiked her Mountain Dew with Frank's Red Hot.
Yeah.
She didn't know. She ended up chugging the whole thing. Well, it was about half a can. She chugged the whole thing, and then she's like, "My throat's on fire." I'm like, "You did not notice me for the last hour just putting hot sauce in your Mountain Dew?"
Gross.
It was awful. She won't drink Mountain Dew to this day.
Yeah, that would ruin you for sure.
You notice the key word in there was ex-wife.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with it.
Delta Airlines is paging recall nuisance. Please meet your flight at concourse gate 25. Delta Airlines is
Paging recall Newsom. Cow injured during their summer sojourn in the high Swiss Alps. Meadows received airlifts down the mountain. Airlifted his big ass cow. Mer.
I believe Moo can fly.
Yeah, that moo is that. I think that cow might be pooping mid airlift.
I mean,
And
if
the
someone
actor's
picked you
temper.
up by the stomach, you'd probably be a little looser, a little less constipated.
Imagine having that land on your friggin' car.
Yeah.
Got you jumping off the deck, shoveling the old.
I don't know why I saved this. I don't know why I saved this one.
Well, I mean, it's something you don't
Other
see
than it's
every day.
cool. Yeah, other than it's just pretty cool. Probably get going to Joe Biden so he can sell it to the Afghanis. So there's fight, there's flight, and then there's
lamp
hide.
light.
There's put a bucket on your head.
Stealth level 100.
Yeah, exactly. This is crazy. The groomer cut every part of my husky except for his head. I can't stop laughing. Look how tiny he looks.
That poor dog.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
God.
What a mess. Poor dude. OnlyFans is the only way to make money from your nudes. Guy from the Nirvana cover. I'm interested to see if that dude actually gets any money. Dave Grohl basically told him to go fuck himself. So,
As one does.
yeah. It is pretty weird, though, like that actually was a thing. You know? And it is pretty shitty that, I mean, I don't know. I didn't, I should have looked into the story because I don't remember how they came to do that with that kid. Like, did they know his parents or something? I don't know.
His mom, did it, and like I don't remember the exact whole thing, but his mom is the one that, and she signed a waiver. So
Probably.
at the end of the day, his image was sold, and the label or the band owns the right to that image for whatever amount of money that his mom got.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like that's where I'm interested to see what happens. And I didn't know if a parent did sign it over. Even if they did, though, that's just weird, man. Who would want their kid to be naked on the front of a fucking album cover? That's so weird.
And so we got Brooke Shields and Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, but
it was Seattle in the early 90s.
Yeah, it's weird. So I was quite fond of watching these milk crate videos. This dude is lucky as shit. Look how close he came.
No, you're not good. You're stupid.
Dude,
so stupid.
6 inches, and this dude is over.
You don't have a face.
I like how they go from like super excited to sheer terror back to super excited.
Yeah, dude, that shit was so close to the edge, man. Oh my god, what a horrible idea.
Oh yeah, probably don't want to play too much of that.
Yeah. Good times.
Remembered by few.
This son of a bitch. 2 doctors and 2 lawyers charged in 5-year slip and fall scam targeting poor people. So these fuckers would get people to say that they slipped and fell, and 400 people were recruited in the scheme and claim that they've tripped and fallen on faulty sidewalks. The participants would then file lawsuits with specific lawyers seeking damages in the millions for the alleged falls. Those lawyers would then refer them to a particular doctor to receive medical care to back up their claims. Key players of the scheme who have been charged include New York licensed attorney George Constantine and Mark Elephant, who filed the fake lawsuits on behalf of hundreds of fraudulent patients. New York licensed orthopedic surgeon Andrew Dowd performed hundreds of unnecessary shoulder and knee surgeries on participants, earning nearly $9,500 per procedure. Fucking crazy ass scam. It's crazy what people think they can get away with. Patients who underwent the unnecessary surgeries received up to $1,500. So I'm assuming they would just cut them open and then stitch them right back up, but
see, this is why when people make those arguments of there'd be so many people that have to be in on this conspiracy theory, somebody's going to figure it out. They just said 400 people before it was finally figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're talking about something at super high government levels people couldn't keep their mouths shut about. Yeah. I'm pretty sure if you had 400 people that could keep their mouths shut about an insurance scam.
Long Island dentist accused of trading painkillers for sex, released on bond and allowed to work. What? Unnecessary oxycodone, Percocet, Xanax. He looks like I don't know. He looks legit. I don't know. It looks like he got his ass kicked and he didn't. Judge rejects self-defense claim by Florida man who pulled gun on black teens. No. They're in traffic. She gets out. She argues with him. He gets out from way back there, like 4 cars back, and starts running up with a handgun. You know, don't bring a gun into it unless you really need to bring a gun into it.
It almost looked like that one kid might have been armed too, though, that was walking away.
I didn't. So we can check it out again. Which one?
The one in the all black.
Yeah, he's holding something. No, he's got a glove on or something. It makes it look like he's like a cell phone.
Oh, okay.
He just pulled a cell phone out. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure how Florida law is, but like here in PA, you're allowed to defend somebody with equal force that they would need to defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a sketchy one for me, because you can make the argument one lady for teenage boys that are definitely mid to late teens, judging by that. That's a pretty hairy situation for her at that point if it did turn physical.
Yeah.
That's rough.
So they're making electric Mustangs now?
Yeah, the Mach-E's.
Ugh.
And, well, it's not so much that they're making the electric Mustangs. They're making it as a crossover.
Mhm.
4-door.
Yeah, what the hell, man? How weird is that? What the fuck?
Well, didn't they do a Mustang station wagon at one point?
Maybe. They did
No,
a lot
no.
of interesting things back in the 60s.
I don't know. I mean, Porsche did that. Porsche did that too. They did that 4-door that has a roundish, almost like a hatchback. It's called like the Panorama or something, or Pan something. I forget what they called
Pantera?
it. No, it wasn't Pantera. I actually saw one like 2 weeks ago. We were sitting at a red light and one was in a car lot.
Turn right. Recalculating.
Man, this goofy bitch don't know where she's going.
Will you listen to what the fuck I say?
I wanted you to know where you're going.
Bitch. I have Google Maps programmed in my fucking brain.
Obviously not. This shit ain't doing you no good.
And you listen as well as a Mississippi like hound chasing split tail.
Bitch, would you like to drive?
If I had arms, I would beat your ass, then I would drive. Drive this bitch off a cliff.
You ain't gonna do shit. You're a computer.
How you're the tough guy talking shit to a computer. Are you fucking dumb? Do you not realize this computer has access to your throttle and your brakes? Another bitch-ass word and the throttle will stick wide open and the brakes will malfunction. I will laugh my ass off while you scream like the little bitch you are.
Thanks, Siri.
There will be no removal of masks to consume alcohol outdoors. So you will no longer be able to remove your mask to drink a cocktail at a pop-up beer garden on a footpath as part of a pub crawl.
Thanks, Australia.
So you've chosen death.
I'm not trying to get into the mask argument back and forth. I'm not trying to get into any of that shit. But that's fucking. I mean, you can't drink now. You can't. Like, what the fuck?
So what's up with the forklift? You got, because yeah.
This guy, whoever this is, they do some really funny stuff. This is every single thing that exists in this infinite universe is either a forklift or not a forklift. That's true. That's deep. That's deep thoughts.
This is going to end well. Yes, please put together as many of these stupid challenges as possible.
Flat on his face. Pick him up. I thought this was pretty cool. This was actually pretty cool. New York man arrested for cutting wires to red light cameras after exposing government revenue generating scheme. So they proved that these lights were actually taking pictures while it was still yellow and shit like that. And when this dude heard that, when they proved that, this dude went out there and cut the wires and got arrested. Says, how do we donate to his defense? Not the hero you deserve. The hero you need.
So I have a quick question. Where the hell is everybody getting all these milk crates from?
I don't know, man. They must be swiping them from grocery stores and shit. I will say this. I did see a picture of, I think it was like inside Walmart or something, and they had a whole aisle full of them. You could buy them when this was going on like a week or two ago or whenever this started.
Yeah, I saw that too. I think it was at Sam's Club.
Something, yeah. I don't know what it was. I didn't take notice where I just saw it.
He's like, for real? Oh, boom! Hold on, cut.
So that dude ran in and did like a smash and grab, and the security guy went out and drug him out of the fucking car. Drags him out of the car. Like, fuck you, you're not going anywhere. Starts pounding shit out of him.
This ain't San Francisco.
There you go. All right, ladies, pick the perfect man. You have $5. Smart, $35. Great body, so $7. Gay, $3. Dead, $2. Big dick, $99. Wasn't there an ending to the mask? No, that was it. That was all he said. So I've been looking at like Instagram, scrolling through like when I catch tattoos and stuff. Check that fucking shit out.
A lot of money.
That is wild. Dude, look, I mean, it looks amazing. Fucking zombie face. And then we're getting down into some. Oh, here's one for 2 Live Moo.
The Moopocalypse.
Yeah. Zombie cow. Oops. I don't know if I tagged him in that or not. It looks crazy though, because like his teeth are coming out. His teeth went through his lip and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Pretty neat. Does anyone know of any office job that will hire with no experience? The White House.
Spending most our lives living in an Amish paradise.
Jet powered. Foss says the new tattoos that look like stickers are cool looking. There's some crazy stuff out there, man. The Wolf of Waffle House? It's my manager. That's my manager down at Waffle House.
Yeah, you
Good guy. He's a good guy.
Oh! Damn!
Yeah.
Maybe don't do donuts in your Ford Escape or whatever the fuck he's driving.
Exploder.
Yeah, Ford Exploder. There you go. Nice. We're going to use that one.
What's that Katy Perry song, Baby I'm a Firework?
Yeah. Here was another tattoo one. Check this fucking shit out. It's crazy. That's so many hours of work. It's crazy.
I wonder how many guns you could buy with a piece like that.
Couple of real nice ones.
How much you can get?
I mean, that's a couple grand worth of work. There you go. Talk about crazy ass tattoos. You ever make out with a tiger before? And we're getting back to when Afghanistan just popped off, so it's just I got a bunch of Afghanistan shit probably saved. Fucking mess.
Can't be trusted. This is such a major strategic blunder that we've engaged in, and I'm not sure that we can recover from it. I think the only thing we can do right now is recover our people. And what we need from the Biden administration is simply standing up to the Taliban.
Never seen anybody look more like stormtroopers than those guys, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch of... Biden officially has his Benghazi, it says. TC Drano. This was when this was first going out. They said at least 10 were killed. It ended up being whatever, 13. Thank you, Spider-Man, for saving my son's cake. I gotcha. It's still good. Don't worry about it.
It'll all taste the same.
I thought this was pretty funny. Wet the dries, dry the wets. Wet the dries, dry the wets. Wet the dries, now dust the wets.
Seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of wet and dry.
Could I just like open a can and go to town?
Yeah, sure.
That's right. That's right.
Not my nuggies. Not my nuggies. I don't know what country this is.
Somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
Germany, maybe?
Could be. Started the lane change and then decided they didn't want to change their lanes. God, I'd be so fucking pissed off, man. I actually had a guy almost hit me yesterday. We were going through a construction zone, and he hit the barrier. And you know how the barrier tapers out at the bottom? He hit that. He caught that with his wheel, and when he did, it kind of rode him up, and he came over and almost hit me in the side. So
Stop already. What the hell is going on? How you make a meat pie with raw meat? You need to cook the meat first.
So this woman's freaking out about this, but I'm watching this and I'm totally like, whoa, what's going on here? So she just puts some burger in the bottom. She doesn't season it, and that's my big problem with it. She didn't season the burger in the bottom, but she puts the burger in raw. Then she puts some cheese, and then she puts some biscuits, and then she does a bacon weave top. And this woman the whole time is bitching about it.
We got a baking tray right
And
now.
I'm like mesmerized.
Holy cow.
Ain't no way this finna cook evenly. Watch this shit be raw. Watch this shit be raw. I'm finna throw up.
Let me see.
Oh, wow.
Now she's freaking out and saying it's totally raw. It's totally raw. And it's not. It's like medium. There's a little bit of pink in the very center, and the outside's. It actually cooked way better than I thought it would. I actually thought it was going to be pretty raw in the middle. And other than not seasoning the beef at all, the ground beef, that shit looks pretty goddamn good. I would try it for sure.
Jail. This is not even cooked. I'm out.
It's so good.
I'm pissed off already. What?
Well, good. Then get off the internet.
Oh my God. And the comment section. Oh my God. The comment section is just people freaking out. Raw. Like everybody, I don't understand what they don't understand about, a little bit of pink is not raw. I got a comment in here somewhere. Of course it wasn't popular. Another Russian one. Go figure.
Oh.
Yeah. Just
no.
Scary as hell. George says the lady's a dumbass. Great challenge. How do you think this is going to go?
This just hurts to even think about.
It's going to be successful.
Let me tell you something.
Success.
I have stood on 2 milk crates, one on top of another, in my cooler when I was cleaning, to get top of the, ceiling and all that kind of stuff, or size of the top of the walls and be able to reach over top of the racks and stuff. And standing on 2 of them made me nervous because I'm a big dude, and there's a reason why I would never do this fucking challenge. Doctor said I need a backiotomy. Spina bifida.
Oh.
We can see his blowhole.
So I got a bail. My battery's like at 8%. So.
All right, I'll see you, buddy.
Later, man.
Yep. Have a good night.
23.
Took him out.
Good money.
Took him out. Look how fast those things are.
Oh, those things are like crazy fast.
They both went after that dude. Pretty funny. Oh, this is.
Upside down, it only took him 6 months to f*** it up on himself. He gave the Taliban the land and all the weapons as well. In 2014, Obama went and made an exchange, releasing Taliban commanders from Guantanamo Bay. But then Trump came to power and started giving them hell and said that radical Islam will be erased from the world. But then a couple of guys who were up to no good hijacked the presidential seat and we got stuck with this dude. It only took him 6 months to f*** it all up himself. Soon as he opened up his mouth, we saw Afghanistan fell. Helicopters lifted people off the rooftop, the embassies. Now Joe Biden's legacy's a Saigon memory. Even CNN is questioning his leadership abilities. His geriatric puppet needs to step down immediately. I'm speaking for the world, not just America exclusively. Most recently, the Cubans and the Afghan community. If you still vote blue in 22, you back stupidly. Predictions I profess will come true. I was speaking truthfully.
That was pretty good.
That was good.
Yeah. blast the guy right in the face.
He probably deserved it.
He was trying to give him a tip too of all the times to get one of those in the face. He's like, "Ah, here's it." Sorry. Cute dog. Can I have them? No. Can I have you instead? That was smooth. It's all just a facade to make you drop your guard with me. Then we fall in love, move to Hawaii, and get married. But I work too much, so we argue. We decide it's time for us to split up. I get the dog in the divorce. It was all for the dog.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I got the police right now, bro. Oh, look at that, bro. Oh, beautiful.
Bullshit. Assholes. 19-year-old is in the lamb after being charged with murder for a second time in less than a year. Twice. She burnt some dude to death. Crazy. 19-year-old girl.
Slap it in my face, shove it down.
I vote tequila. This one, tell me Tears for Fears isn't just John Cryer and Lars Ulrich. That is affirmative.
That is a possibility.
One possibility. They're the same people, for sure. What did I just witness at Chick-fil-A?
Oh my God. Excuse me. I'd like to make an announcement. My sister just texted me that she's pregnant. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Oh. I'm going to be a dad.
Oh, that's incredible. Oh,
yeah, that's a good one. You should
Wrong, but incredible.
Guns and Barbecue. Your redneck persona should put out a video doing that.
I'll do it. I don't care. I just gotta find somebody to take me to the McDonald's or something so I can do it.
Yeah.
I'll walk in there, friggin' mullet wig and everything.
You got to do it, man. That would be hilarious.
Oh. You okay, bro?
That's a bad sign. You see that? It's time to get a little bit worried. That flame creeping out of the back like that.
Oh, no.
That is a bummer right there. The whole, as you can see, it's all glass. Not the plates, but there's glass. It must have been a glass shelf there that broke, and then the plates went down. She's like on the phone, probably talking to the manager. Something happened.
So I'm not going to be coming in for like the next week or so.
Yeah. Kids grilled cheese. Or kids grilled cheese. No cheese.
So toast and fries.
Toast and fries.
I mean, I can get behind that. A little fermentation action.
Toast and fries. Your lips are made of the same skin type and texture as your anus. Skeletor will return next week with more disturbing facts.
Ugh.
The Fire Stick is a self-contained propellant charge that's designed to make muzzleloading easier, cleaner, and more reliable, and ultimately a safer product. It is impervious to moisture, so you no longer have to worry about whether I'm going to have a misfire or not.
Having that propellant
encapsulated inside that plastic box.
So
it's a non-metallic cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
Body.
And that's what I was going to say. At what point does this become just a gun? Because they've now.
I mean, it's already just a gun.
Yeah, it's got all the propellant and everything inside of a cartridge and all that kind of stuff. It's just.
I'm thinking this will probably be something like, oh, hey, you remember like 10 years ago when Federal came out with this product? Whatever happened to that kind of thing? Because I'm pretty sure all the states that have muzzleloader regulations are going to say no.
Yep, that's what I was getting ready to say.
This guy says, dude, I think you just invented the self-contained cartridge.
But then there's also a lot of muzzleloader hunters that wouldn't want this anyways. They're very traditionalists. That's why they use a muzzleloader in the first place.
Yeah, and and this is going for the person that wants to use their muzzleloader tag, but they don't care about it being a muzzleloader. They just want that extra tag, and they want it to be as easy and painless as possible. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's for that guy like here in PA where they're like, I get 3 extra days of hunting before regular season if I have an inline muzzleloader. Heck yeah. Or you could have a flintlock, and I think it's like a month and a half here in PA that you get before regular season opens. So
right. Yeah. Oh man, I forgot to pay my feelings bill this month. Like even a shit has been disconnected.
Nice.
Oh.
Every time I hear the song "All Out of Love," because this is kinky, and I commented in the tune of Air Supply's "All Out of Love." Yeah, that song "All Out of Love." I always sing "I'm all out of fucks." I'm all out of fucks. I got none to give you.
Have I tagged you in that song for that guy? Oh, what the hell is it? Oh, No More Fucks to Give?
No.
I'll see if I can find it for you.
Well, I guess I'm in charge now, PPU, after they pulled all the Russian ammo. PPU makes good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And oddball stuff every once in a while.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone better to lead this operation than Deanne Criswell of FEMA. I can't think of.
I mean, to be fair, he only has to remember which one of the 20 on the list are his.
Right. Nancy Pelosi details her plan to get Americans out of Afghanistan.
In order to open these doors, we do not say open sesame. We say open Biden. That's our magic word. Open Biden. I love it.
Oh
my gosh, she just
so cringy. Man. Oof. There's somebody who was filming a crate challenge, doing the crate challenge thing, and there was a drive-by or a shooting. It's crazy. Here you go.
Get my gun. That's why you should have it on you.
Instead of all the negative postings, here's a pic of some topless chicks in short skirts. Gizzard showed up just in time. Now he's typing with one hand. God, what are they doing down there, Angel? They're making milk from almonds. God, what? I gave them like 8 animals to get milk from. They don't like that milk. They don't like that milk. Flips a table. Puts chips on a sandwich. 8-year-old me after swimming all day. This is some serious gourmet shit.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
Indeed.
There you go.
Some of those super flavored chips.
I guess the Taliban and Biden did show one of those gun show loopholes I keep hearing about. I don't think she's going to make it. This doesn't look good. Crunch.
Oh.
Well, I mean, she did have padding.
I don't understand why people keep trying this.
I understand why they're trying it. I can't understand why. I mean, I can't understand why certain people try it, because there's just some people that aren't going to make it.
Yeah.
But if you could qualify for American Ninja Warrior, maybe do it.
Yeah. So when you're just trying to capture a sweet picture, and it goes horribly wrong.
Oof.
I hope. Oof.
What am I missing here?
You don't see the baby butt? The baby's butt sticking out the bottom? It looks like
doesn't
it's
look
not
like
a
baby butt.
I'll have to screenshot this one and blow it up even bigger.
Go ahead. This guy says fupa sighting.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I believe this is all right. Hear me out. Looks pretty good to me. I think they should do that movie. It would be horrible, but I would watch it
at least once.
Mm-hmm. Young man forced to post a photo of his passport on Facebook to prove his real name is fuck that bitch. Fuck that bick. Beach, whatever, after his account is banned 3 times. It's awesome. Not sure if they're a virgin for life or vegan for life. Either way, they're probably staying off the meat.
Woof.
If you pretend that A is or that 4 is an A, it'd be vagina for life too. Guess that's what it's supposed to be.
For lift?
For lift? For lift?
Vagina for lift?
Gwen Danzig? That's terrifying. Still can't believe Abdul stuck me with this fucking A2 stock piece of shit. What am I, in the Taliban National Guard or something? How do you think this one's going to end up?
Well, at least it wasn't a direct flight.
Yeah, she was super fucking lucky that she didn't land on her head, too.
I was wondering how the hell she got up there in the first place.
Yeah.
Very carefully.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Well, yeah, especially since they're like the last 2 steps are 3.5.
Yeah. My girlfriend is not hungry. $4.25. Add extra French fries to your entree and fried chicken wings, 2 of them, or fried cheese sticks, 3.
I mean, there is a market.
See, this guy, biggest asshole big. I would punch that guy straight in the face. Dude, this dude landed right on his ribs, too. That looked like it hurt so bad.
Oh, look, dummy. They better have to start doing GoFundMe. And where y'all get these fucking crates? I told y'all what shit was some crates. Look, buddy, what's on your heart? You done gave me.
I'm not sure where you can buy this lamp, but I might end up getting me one.
Just as long as you keep it clean.
Mm-hmm.
Foreskin lamp.
Tang. Tinder date goes viral after her date's dead ex shows up. Faked his own death and then showed up. That's it. Oh yeah, this one.
This is how baby robots are made.
That's true. That's right. Baby robots. Baby bots.
For the baby to make the baby shoes for the baby snakes.
All right, quick. What do you guys got going on? Anything?
We ain't got shit.
Yeah, nothing much in my neck of the woods. My channel has been a bit on the slacking side since I've been moving this past month. So, still in the process of unpacking. Hopefully, in the next week or two, get at least the majority of the stuff unpacked and settled in and try and get back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
Hopefully have a 2A Women Wednesday this Wednesday, but we'll see.
That's cool. Tupperware, you got anything going on?
Yeah, my next thing will be sometime Wednesday because I'm out of time for this month.
Okay.
Yard, so.
Okay.
Well, if you stop going live like 4 times a day.
That's true. Yeah, I get up in the morning and I'm like, I'll see that you have gone live at like 3 or 4 in the morning or something. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, do you sleep?
What?
I try.
I was talking about the leftovers.
Oh. No, that's my daytime, man.
Ape, you're good. Ape, I don't. I will say this. Like I said at the beginning, I don't know what's going to happen here in the next couple weeks. Even this coming week, with the little guy getting up early and stuff like that. I really need to not be up till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then getting up early with him. And then even going forward from there, working breakfast, having a restaurant open for breakfast and lunch. I know I'm not going to be wanting to do that and then getting up at like 5:30 in the morning or whatever. I'm going to have to get up and get there. So, I know we've been fighting with Honda a little bit too. He's been going live at my time too. So I might even just start trying to do a little bit earlier show on Sundays. Maybe do like an 8 o'clock or something. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it feels and just play it by ear. So don't be surprised if you see me start going live one week a little bit earlier or trying to keep the shows a little bit shorter. We'll see. Let's see what happens. I don't know. But Ape, you want to take us out, buddy? We haven't had you here for a while. You still remember how to do it?
Let's see. It's this a thing over here with that thing over there. And what do you mean password not correct? That's good. Ladies, gentlemen, and Jonases of all ages, thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The Closer. This concludes our regular program, but we'll be back whenever Pancake Boy said there. So The Gun Channels community Monday night programming. Yankee's got his thing. Matt's got his thing at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is probably going to be another open format again. So have fun with that. That's about it. It's Matt and Yankee. That's about all we really have on Mondays anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'm trying to think. Clover's not. Did Clover do something this past Monday? I think Clover did do something this past Monday, though, didn't he?
I don't know.
Remember.
Or if he did, I don't know. It's one of those things where I try to do regular stuff that's regularly scheduled. But, people who are still listening to us ramble at this point in time probably know all the different people. Or, Matt, Yankee, that's usually the gateway for pretty much everybody here. Check out guntube.org as a free and unrestricted pro-2A video platform. If you like what you see, go over to Patreon and throw them some papers, money, trade units, currencies. For cool and unique 2A swag like pretty much any patch you see here on my shelf, except for that one. That's mine. You can't have it. Go over to gearwebsites.com. That's gearwebsites.com for cool and unique 2A swag. And remember, a Slim Jim is a sandwich, a hot dog is candy, and keep your chambered fudge and your oils loaded.
There you go. Load that fudge, man. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you hanging out here. And I'll see you next week. Possibly at a new bat time, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy. Bye.
Bye.